Here at the Verizon Wireless Arena, the Manchester Monarchs and the Portland Pirates going at it. Monarchs, the top seed in the American Hockey League, have the home ice advantage for as long as they last in the Calder Cup Playoffs. Chris Ryan between the benches, as he always is at home. And Chris, what are you looking for tonight from the Monarchs?
Quick jump for the Monarchs. You do not want to let Portland hang around in this game. Obviously, a lot of pressure on the Monarchs, having been up 2-0 with the record they had. It is very important for the Monarchs to get off to a quick start in this game, set the tempo, skate the puck, take the body, and have that killer instinct early on in this contest. You do not want to go late and where things can be decided by bounces. You want to make sure that you dictate the outcome, and the Monarchs need to do that early on. Bodies to the net, pucks to the net. Skate the Portland Pirates into the ground tonight.
J.F. Berube defending the goal. Off to our left, off to our right, Louis Domingue. We are underway in Game 5. Philip Samuelson with it in the neutral zone. Long drive in on Berube from the right side, and he makes the save and hangs on with just 7 seconds expired here in the opening period.
I just flicked that puck in towards the net. And JF making the save in the midsection. Face-off in the defensive zone, and the face-off's huge for the Monarchs as well. See if Jordan Wheel can win this one.
Off the draw. Puck along the right wing wall as they battle for Bodnarchuk there with the Gaudette of the Portland Pirates. Puck still loose in the right wing corner. Monarch zone. Bodnarchuk and Gaudette continue to battle for the loose puck. Now Gaudette and Bodnarchuk continue to bump along the right wing corner. Wheel comes away with the puck, drops it off for Auger. Auger plays it far side to Bodnarchuk. Bod's ahead to Brian O'Neill. Plays it neutral zone to Jordan Wheel. Up with it now, Bodnarchuk. Laverty's drive goes just wide, and Domingue got a piece of that one. Now puck loose, taken by Wheel, left wing circle, throws it out in front, went right through the slot, cleared by Shinneman.
He had Backman cutting through the crease.
Here's Dvorak with it. Dvorak, a backhander, goes wide off the end wall. Now puck played ahead by the Monarchs deep into the Portland end of the ice, and that will be icing against the Monarchs. We've played 64 seconds of the opening period.
The Monarchs have 3 players down low. Jordan Wheel with the puck on his stick in the left wing circle. Sean Backman coming through the crease, and Wheel put it out ahead of Backman, hoping Backman could make contact with the puck and put it on net, but that did not happen.
Face off left circle to the right of J.F. Berube. Dvorak taking the draw for Portland. Puck loose and kept alive by Dahlbeck. Sends it around the wall far side. Brian O'Neill on it for the Monarchs. Kept in at the line by Shinneman. His shot steered away into the corner by Berube. Puck loose along the right wing wall in the Monarchs end of the ice as they try to pry it free there. Puck comes free into the neutral zone, and on it there is Dahlbeck of Portland. Now his pass knocked down by Shore, plays it back to Miller. Now Schultz has it for the Monarchs. Schultz plays it off the near wall. Giving chase is Backman. Backman was held up on the play. Quick shot, score! From the right wing side, John Backman let it go, and I believe Mersch redirected it in front.
We talked about it, Ken. Monarchs needed to get to the front of the net. That means Michael Mersch. He's been so great for the Monarchs in this series. He's been one of the top players for Manchester. That time he got right to the doorstep. Backman put it there. Mersch did the rest, burying the puck. The Monarchs off to that start that they wanted. Minute 42 into it. They're up 1-0. But no need to stop here. Keep the tempo going. Keep the puck in the Portland zone. Michael Mersch, though, buries it early on as Backman fought through a number of checks, got it towards the net. Mersch on the doorstep, pounded it home.
It was 18-18 left when the goal was scored here in the opening period, so a minute 42 of the period. Big hit by Dowd on Gormley behind the Portland cage. Shot from the left point, save. Now wrap around by O'Brien, a save, hit the post. That looked like it hit the post, and Domingue might have gotten a piece of it. Gravel with a drive, saved by Domingue. Now Dowd with it. Side to the right wing circle, has it poked away.
Monarchs quick on pucks, getting secondary opportunities. Again, getting bodies to the net as well. Can't tell you how good a job Backman did on that goal. Fighting through checks. He was not going to be denied getting to the net.
Mersch with the goal, set up by Backman and Schultz. And the Monarchs draw first blood in this one. Now planned away, neutral zone. Hanley with it for the Pirates. Chips it deep in the Monarchs' end of the ice. Berube leaves it for Derek Forbert. Forbert in his own end. Plays it ahead. Kept in by Hanley. Throws it off the end wall. Taken far side by Horvat. Horvat bumped. Puck loose behind the net. Monarchs come away with it. Monarchs started out of their own zone. Off the stick of Grattan. Now puck loose along the right wing wall. They chip it into the neutral zone, but offside whistled against the Monarchs with 16:55 remaining in the opening period. Monarchs up 1-0, and they have come out with jump in this one.
What tremendous energy here in this building. Incredible to start this contest. One of the best energy I've seen in here in the years that we've done these games. A number of Portland fans made the trip down, and Monarchs fans alive as well. Everybody's in on everything. This is the way playoff hockey should be, and a tremendous amount of energy coming from the benches and the stands. This is a elimination game, obviously, for both teams, and you can certainly feel it down here at ice level.
Land away, neutral zone. Bodnarchuk giving chase. Bods has it, slides it across for Loverty. Loverty with it, drops it back to Bodnarchuk in his own zone. Now knocked down at the line by Gaudette right in front of the Portland bench. Kempe on it, poked it ahead. Now puck comes into the Portland zone, tracked down by Dahlbeck, slides it across to McNeil. Now off the stick of Gaudette, poked into the neutral zone. Loverty now drops it off for O'Brien, banks it in off the near wall. Now puck stolen away by the Pirates, collected by Colin Miller in his own end, slides it across for Jeff Schultz. Auger with it in his own zone, plays at center ice. Tracked down by Gormley in his own end. Plays across ice to Dylan Reese. Now stolen by Auger in the neutral zone. Auger giving chase, left wing side to Brian O'Neill. Back out to Schultz for a drive, knocked down in front. And gathered in by the paddle of the goaltender Domingue. Some shoving going on, Gormley and Auger. After Domingue gathered in that puck and covered it up.
What a fabulous setup, though, for the Monarchs. That is Monarchs hockey to a T right there. You get the puck in deep with speed, get it up top to Schultz, get towards the net. So much traffic in front of Domingue. So many opportunities for the puck to deflect. The puck did come on through, and he was able to see it. But that was picture perfect right there. That's what the Monarchs need to continue to do in the offensive zone.
Wheel left wing circle, taking the draw with Dvorak, who's played well in this series, rookie for the Portland Pirates. And now puck sent out of play onto the Portland bench on the far side. Played just a little over 4 minutes. Monarchs on top, 1-0. Great to have you with us on ESPN New Hampshire and 107.7 The Pulse and AHL Live and wherever else you might be listening. Face off left circle to the right of Louis Domingue. Off the draw, puck in the left wing circle. Auger.
Stick came up high, and Auger got him in the helmet.
Shinneman giving chase, neutral zone. Shinneman spun around by Miller. Now puck loose along the end wall. Shot hit the side of the net. Henrik Samuelsson with it. His pass goes into the Portland end of the ice. Domingue in the far circle plays it. Now Dylan Reese sends it behind his own net near side to Gormley. Kept alive by Wheel. Wheel.
Great effort by Wheel. He never stopped skating as he was able to turn the puck over. Monarchs keep it in his own.
Wow, nice play there.
Or
but now it's
a hand pass.
Hand pass. Okay.
Mersch and Reese.
Linesmen quickly step in to separate Mersch and Reese. 15-16.
Mersch having none of it. He just put his hands up. Reese, a much smaller player, shoves him in the midsection, and Mersch just smiles.
So the faceoff will come in the neutral zone. 15-16 remaining here in the opening period. Shore on the draw with Wache.
Now Selleck having words with Mersch. Mersch has just got to, keep his head on here, and I think he'll do that. But he's getting to the net. Selleck having some words with him. Now Wache steps in. And Selleck will have to take the draw.
2 games in Portland. Portland got away from some of that agitation without Derzinski and Bolduc in the lineup. But now it seems to be back here tonight.
Wache elbow up high on Shore.
Now playing away along the end wall. Picked up by Gravel behind the net. Now Gravel
and
goes down.
Elbow up high. That time on Gravel.
And he broke his stick. Now Backman giving chase right side. Stolen away by Philip Samuelson. Sends it around far side. Bodnerchuk keeps it in. His drive knocked down. And up with it now.
Oh,
Portland
great by Vinny there
away.
that pass. Did not a lot on it. Here's the Monarchs chance.
Backman a drive and a glove stop by Domingue as Backman let it go from the right wing circle.
Sean Backman is on fire tonight. He is flying around the ice.
Now Dauphine gains the line for Portland. He's slowed down by Laverty. Great play by Laverty.
Monarchs D-men are like a wall right now.
Now giving chase is Grattan right wing side. Puck comes all the way down the length of the ice, however, and icing called against the Monarchs with 14:11 to go here in the opening period. 1-0 the Monarchs on top in Game 5 of this best-of-5 series.
Shot 7-2. Monarchs good puck management in their own zone. They've been able to get the puck out, make good, crisp, small passes, keeping it simple here. You know, when the nerves and the emotions are high to start this elimination game. So good job by the Monarchs getting the puck out of their own zone. Good puck management in the neutral zone as well. Obviously icing at that time, but more often than not, it's been good decisions for the Monarchs.
Planned away, and another Monarch, Laverty, was taken down. Turnaround shot hit the side of the net by Shinneman. Now up with it is Bodnerchuk in his own zone. Bod's with it along the end wall. Drops it off for Crescenzi, broken up by the forechecking of the Pirates. Now cleared to center ice on it. Dahlbeck drops it off for McNeil. McNeil's pass knocked down. Shinneman with a drive. Kick save by Berube.
Big one. He came out, cut the angle, and read that perfect.
Shinneman again shifting over the line. Puck is loose.
He just left it vacant, left it in a spot, and the Monarchs were in it.
Here's Dowd over the line right side. His shot gloved by Domingue, and he hangs on.
A great approach for the Monarchs early on. 13:26 to go in the first. Guys pushing and shoving as the Monarchs have made some headway in getting towards the net. That's something they weren't doing in games 3 and 4, and that's getting under the skin of the Portland Pirates. 13:26 to go here in the first. Monarchs up 1-0 in this do-or-die Game 5. Back with more after this on the Monarchs Radio Network.
Seconds, 8.
All right. Face-off right circle to the left of Louis Domingue. Monarchs lead it 1-0. Shore will take the draw. Up front with Backman and Mersch. Wache will take the face-off for Portland. He has certainly been a factor in the last 2 games, scoring the game winner in Game 3.
Yeah, he's been the guy.
Yep, and 2 on Thursday. Off the face-off, puck is loose, taken by the Pirates. Greg Miller sends it into the Monarchs' end of the ice, tracked down by Schultz. Schultz throws it behind his own net for Colin Miller. Now on it, Shore.
Another good breakout for the Monarchs.
Neutral zone, Mersch plays it off the left wing wall.
When there's pressure, it's all about puck support. Shore came back, provided that puck support, got on to Mersch, and the Monarchs cleared the zone.
Shore plays it back in his own end for Schultz to Colin Miller. Now stolen by Greg Miller in the neutral zone, restolen by Shore. Colin Miller drops it off in his own end for Schultz. Schultz in the neutral zone. Schultz gains the red line, banks it off the near side wall.
So calm, Schultz getting the puck in deep, now chasing after it. Monarchs active D, so important.
Now Phil Lane with it, drops it off for Dauphine at center ice. Dauphine, long drive, glove side of the net by Berube, and he hangs on. So we'll get a face-off in the Monarchs end of the ice with 12:35 to go in the opening period. Monarchs on top, 1-0. Out shooting the Pirates 8-4 in the early going.
Yeah, the big things that I've liked so far, Monarchs active D, using the D up top, that's incredibly significant, and also getting bodies to the net. Portland resisting that. There's been some flare-ups in front of the cage, but they get that first goal because Mersch is on the doorstep. That was missing games 3 and 4. The Monarchs did not get to the tough places on the ice consistently enough, and they have to start this one.
Face off right circle, won by the Pirates, shot by Schwartz, knocked down.
O'Neill got in the way of that one.
Auger with it in the neutral zone. Auger sends it behind the net. Now O'Neill giving chase. Left side wheel, back up top forward, throws it in front, knocked down. Now battling with the puck, Gaudette along the end wall. Wheel has it in the left wing corner. Wheel side of the circle, back up top to Forbert. Forbert shot blocked by Schwartz, out of play.
I like the change in the lines, too. It's Monarchs head coach Mike Stothers tinkered with the lines. No new guys in the lineup for the Manchester Monarchs because of the injuries, but I love the way that he has tinkered with the line. You have Auger, who's been one of the more effective players in this series, up top with your two best offensive players right now in O'Neill and Wheel for a line. And then you have Mersch, who's been a monster in this series, playing along Shore and Backman, hoping to get Shore's offense going. And Backman has really performed favorably on this line too. So I like the changes. They've worked well so far.
Puck loose, left wing circle. Portland tries to clear, kept in by the Monarchs. Now battling for it. Shore drops it off Forbert, a drive, deflected into the right wing corner. Mersch with it, throws it out in front. Loose puck cleared away by the Pirates. Selleck has it neutral zone. Plays it off the right wing wall. Selleck giving chase. His pass out in front, stolen by Gravel. Mersch tried to hit Backman in the neutral zone. Now up with it is Dahlbeck in his own end. Plays it center ice to Lesio. Lesio throws it toward the net, and a save by Berube at the near post, and he hangs on. With 11:35 to go here in period number 1. Monarchs 1 and the Pirates nothing.
JF has also looked very good so far. Tonight he's had to make a couple of stops. His rebound control has been good. Has been a lot of pressure on him in front of the net. But he has been able to really look sharp in terms of tracking the puck, good positioning as well.
Face off left circle to the right of J.F. Berube, making his 5th consecutive playoff start here. Louis Domingue, his 3rd straight start after Mike McKenna started the first 2 games for the Pirates. Lasted 30 seconds in game 2 after the Monarchs struck twice. Now puck comes inside of the net, and it's covered up at the far post as we look at it by Berube.
Down, slashed Samuelson. That was a very, very poor penalty. He got frustrated, and he slashed at Samuelson's stick. The lack of discipline in that instance was not what the Monarchs are looking for. In particular, given the fact the Monarchs have had momentum in this game, they've had a good start to the first, and give the opportunity for Portland to settle in with the offense, move the puck around a little bit in the offensive zone, a chance for them to score as well. And that was a very, very imprudent penalty from Dowd.
So the Monarchs will go on the Terminix penalty kill. Portland 4 for 15 on the power play in this series. Now up with it,
another
Schultz.
Penalty is upcoming. This is going to be a slash. Excuse me, a hook. And I think it's going to be on Samuelson.
And it appears as if Henrik is skating toward the box, and he is. And a hook.
The building is so loud you can't even tell when the whistles are blown. That's a good thing here in Game 5.
But if you are in the area, there are still seats available, and plenty of great hockey left tonight here at the Verizon Wireless
Arena.
Arena.
Looks like it's almost entirely sold out. There are some seats available upstairs.
Wheel will take the draw. 4-on-4 for the next minute 54. Bodnerchuk slides it across to Loverty in his own end. 4-on-4 hockey. Monarchs lead it 1-0. On it, O'Neill over the line, right side. O'Neill slowed down by Gormley. Now Gormley with it. Gormley sends it all the way down the length of the ice. Shinneman wins
won the race. Yeah.
Yep. Now tied up by Loverty along the end wall.
Sticking on Bods as he tried to clear it.
Now in the neutral zone for the Monarchs, it's Jordan Wheel. Wheel over the line, right side. Drops it off from Miller. Miller a drive and a save by Domingue at the near post.
Yeah, shut the 5-hole. Miller moving in again. Active D as Miller comes in and puts the puck on goal. The Monarchs D, when they put pressure on teams, there's not a lot you can do.
Now Schwartz with it along the left wing wall, tied up by Miller. Puck squirts free into the Portland end of the ice, tracked down by Shinneman. Shinneman on it behind his own net. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 48 seconds. Philip Samuelson with it, his brother Henrik in the box. Now sends it off the far wall, knocked down by the Pirates. Philip Samuelson has it back in his own end. Hanley to Philip Samuelson. Now on it, Lesio, broken up by Shore at the line. Shore's shot goes off the glass behind Domingue.
And didn't get a lot on it. Domingue, though, was able to make the save with the glove, but not cleanly as it went in behind. The more pressure the Monarchs are putting on Domingue, the more we're seeing some of those weaknesses.
Now Lesio left wing side with it. Lesio has it. Lesio along the left wing wall for the Pirates, has it poked away by Miller into the neutral
stick
zone.
By Miller at the end of his shift there. He was able to get a good read on that play.
Now Dahlbeck sends it in off the end wall, tracked down by Bodnarchuk.
Monarchs 7 seconds of power play time here as Dowder comes out.
Now in the neutral zone, Forbert with it, pokes it ahead for O'Brien. O'Brien sends it far side. Bodnarchuk with a blast, saved by Domingue. Rebound goes in the far corner.
Again, Mersch camped out front. Domingue did not get a good look at that puck, just threw the puck pad up at the last second.
Both teams back at full strength. Forbert with it. Center ice, center circle. Forbert plays it into the right wing corner. Comes behind the net. Domingue with it, drops it off far side. Portland with it, neutral zone. Perlini with it. Perlini had it poked away as he tried to cross the line, and offside is called against the Pirates. 8:46 to go, opening period. Monarchs 1, Pirates nothing. We'll take a 60-second break right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network. Alrighty. Face off just outside the Monarch zone. 1-0 Monarchs, 8:46 to go in the opening period. Draw one by Portland. Now Dylan Reese has his shot knocked down in the far circle by Forbert. To Shore, his pass knocked down by Gormley. Now Backman with it over the line left side. Backman a drive, whistles high and wide of Domingue. Puck loose along the right wing wall, battling to keep it alive, the Monarchs, but Reese comes up with it for Portland. Reese sends it into the neutral zone. It goes out of play in the penalty box area with 8:23 to go in the opening period. The only goal. Go ahead, Chris.
Saw how gifted Shore was on that entry pass into the zone as he moved around the neutral zone a little bit, looked at his options, and then got a nice pass into the offensive zone. That line has been flying. Backman's been the catalyst. Mersch getting to the net. And let's see what this line can do with Dowd, O'Brien, and Kempe as the Monarchs need some depth. They haven't really had that depth of scoring here in this first round of the playoffs. And the Monarchs need better production from that third and fourth line.
Off the faceoff, won by the Monarchs. Miller's shot steered aside by Domingue. Philip Samuelson on it to Schwartz, who backhands at neutral zone, knocked down by Colin Miller.
Yeah, the Monarchs using the D better in this game, using that puck support as Miller puts it on the net.
Now Schwartz with it, bumped by Dowd. Puck loose, kept in by Miller. His drive goes wide to the stick side of Domingue, kept alive by Schultz behind the net to Dowd. Dowd in the trapezoid, throws it out in front. O'Brien is right there poking away, and Domingue able to tie it up with a glove.
Yeah, no puck luck there, but good spot for the Monarchs to be in right there. You have Kempe on the doorstep. You have O'Brien on the doorstep again, crashing the net. Dowd, who has himself in a headlock right now from Schwartz. But the Monarchs, again, putting pressure right out front of the net. Kempe just had to bounce over his stick. No puck luck for him in that instance. O'Brien was able to deaden it, but didn't get much on the backhand as it just trickled in on the netminder Domingue. Monarchs will change things up. A good shift from those guys. Miller, Schultz supporting the puck and getting it towards the net. And O'Brien as well as Kempe and Dowd. A good shift from them. Monarchs will go with that top line of O'Neill, Wheel, and Auger. We're going to put some more pressure on the Pirates in their offensive zone.
Wheel and Dvorak on the draw in the right wing circle to the left of Louis Domingue. And now Shinneman replaces Dvorak in the circle. Shinneman and Wheel on the faceoff. Off the draw, puck loose in the right wing circle. Comes free, and up with it is Dvorak.
Numbers for Portland. Auger hustling to get back.
Now Berube plays the puck far side to Bodnarchuk in the corner. Puck is loose along the right wing wall in the Portland end of the ice, dug out by the Monarchs. Loverty on it now. On the near side, plays it ahead to O'Neill. Center ice to Wheel. Wheel throws it off the left wing wall. Wheel has it. Now Wheel still strong on the puck just inside the line. Sends it off the right wing wall in the corner. Now the puck comes all the way down into the Monarchs end of the ice.
That's all about the pressure for the Monarchs as Gravel came in along the boards, put pressure on the D-man, and as a result, they iced the puck. Monarchs doing great things in the offensive zone.
7:13 to go here in the opening period. Monarchs on top, 1-0. Face off right circle to the left of Louis Domingue. It'll be Dvorak on the draw. Christian Dvorak against Nick Shore. Face off in the right circle. Won by Shore. Back to Miller. Pulls the trigger. Goes just wide. Karam hit the back of the net. Taken far side by Henrik Samuelsson to Shinneman. Shinneman giving chase. Shinneman goes down hard in the right wing circle.
Just body on body contact.
With Colin Miller. Now Dauphine taken to the wall by the Monarchs.
Monarchs
left wing
have
side.
really tightened up their D zone in this game.
Now puck is loose. Dauphine with a drive, and it is deflected. And
Guess who was there? Big Jeff Schultz with the Monarchs are going to get called for a penalty. Looks like maybe Shinneman and Miller go off. They've been battling this whole game. They might get Shinneman for a dive, but Miller's definitely headed off.
6:45 to go here in the opening period. Miller being escorted.
Oh, just Miller, wow.
Miller goes off for the cross check at 13:15 of the period. So Portland will be on the power play here, trailing 1-0.
Second time this game they've been on the power play, although the previous one was only for a couple of seconds.
Gaudette will take the draw, left wing circle with Dowd.
We're going to get a replay on that one. I'd like to see it again, but I thought Shinneman may have embellished.
Lesio with it, sends it cross ice. Gormley with it, right wing side. Center point McNeil. Right side Gormley plays it in front. Loose puck. Shot over the net by Gaudette.
Monarchs dodged the bullet there.
Wow.
Gaudette, a couple opportunities. Puck right on his stick. JF made the initial stop, and then another opportunity for Gaudette.
Dowd able to clear the puck the length of the ice. Minute 35 remaining on the Miller cross-checking penalty.
That was point blank for Gaudette, too. He was right on the doorstep. Two huge stops.
Lesio over the line. Lesio broken up by O'Neill, and the puck cleared into the neutral zone.
O'Brien skating hard to apply pressure on Gormley as the Monarchs ferocious on the PK.
Gormley starting out of his own end with a minute 15 remaining on the Monarchs Terminix penalty kill. Lesio left side to Schwartz. Now Bodnarchuk battling, kept alive by the Pirates. McNeil left point to Gormley just inside the line. Now with it, Gaudette right wing circle, plays it down low. Back up top to Gaudette right side. His shot blocked.
Not only did he block the shot, but he got to the puck quick. He tracked it and cleared it on down. He blocked it and then made sure that he dumped it into the Portland zone. That allows the Monarchs to get a change. They've been working really hard on that PK.
Now Reese with it. Reese, his pass knocked down by Loverty and cleared all the way down into the Portland end of the ice. Taken by Philip Samuelsson behind his own net. Ahead to Shinneman. Shinneman neutral zone. Shinneman shifting over the line. Left side. Drops it back to Dvorak. A hard hit by Loverty on Shinneman. Now Philip Samuelsson to Shinneman. Shinneman in the middle, quick shot, saved by Berube. That one off the stick of Dvorak.
Some bodies in front too, and JF came out, met that puck, cut the angle, and made a reflex stop. JF's been huge in the first.
Penalty winding down, and now Miller is out of the box. Monarchs back at full strength. Over the line, Dvorak left side, taken off the play by Bodnarchuk. Gravel wraps it around the wall far side to Kempe, kept alive by Dvorak. Sends it into the trapezoid for Shinneman. Shinneman bumped, Samuelson bumped by Bodnarchuk. Puck loose along the end wall. And it's now free, and Gravel is on it for the Monarchs. Off the stick of Kempe, long drive. Loose puck out in front. And another shot knocked down by Berube. Monarchs with it.
Got that one with the right pad. Save number 8 of the night for JF.
Backman giving chase. Now wound around the wall by Dahlbeck. Kept alive by Wheel in the corner to Kempe. His pass knocked down by Dvorak in the far circle. Kept in by Forbert. His long drive. Gloved by Domingue. And Domingue hangs on. I thought he was going to drop it off for Hanley, but
the referee was right there in that instance. Generally, if the player holds the puck, that's just about the time that they call it. As we're having a little bit of Shinneman chat down here. He's yelling towards the Monarchs bench.
3:53 to go. Opening period. Monarchs on top, 1-0. Michael Mersch is
he was
fourth.
yelling to Vinny Laverty that he wanted more.
Crescenzi and Wache on the draw. Left wing circle to the right of the goaltender. Now Forbert with it. Forbert skates it left side. Forbert's drive knocked down. Horvat backhand went into the left wing corner. Now Crescenzi on it, far side. Back to Miller. Miller's shot blocked. Now giving chase in his own end is Forbert. Forbert goes down. Puck comes deep in the Portland end of the ice. Domingue has it stolen by Crescenzi, out in front, score by Horvat! Horvat set up by Crescenzi. Horvat had the whole net to shoot at, and the Monarchs lead it 2-0.
It's good and it's bad when you have a goaltender who likes to play the puck, and right there, the Portland Pirates got burned. Crescenzi behind the cage, able to get it out front to Horvat. Horvat buries the puck. I mentioned the Monarchs needed more contributions from their depth players, and in that instance, the fourth line comes up big for the Manchester Monarchs. That's a huge goal because the Monarchs had been good here in the first, but only a 1-goal lead. Now extending that to 2 is absolutely enormous as Crescenzi just picked the pocket of Domingue, and then a beautiful pass onto Horvat. Very calm in that instance as Crescenzi did not panic when he had the opportunity to get it out front to Horvat, and the Monarchs executed perfectly on that play with him picking the pocket of the Portland netminder.
Bodnarchuk ahead to Kempe in front of the Monarchs bench on the far side. Now with it, Loverty, long drive, goes off the glass behind Domingue. Horvat getting the goal, first of the postseason. Another shot by Miller, and a save by Domingue in traffic. And now Kempe going at it with Phil Lane along the end wall. Horvat from Crescenzi and Grattan, the official on the Monarchs' second goal of the night.
You just have to love the way the Monarchs have approached this first period of play, Ken. They have played some of their best hockey in one of the more difficult situations they faced. Let's not sugarcoat it. The most difficult situation they have faced in the postseason this year, and it's really the season this year. And they have answered the bell here in the first, but very important for them not to let up. You have to keep the foot on the gas here. You have to extend the lead. You have to keep doing the things that have allowed you to have this success.
Playing away, Auger battling behind the net in the Portland zone. Puck loose out in front, poked away by McNeil to Lesio. Knocked down neutral zone by Schultz. Wheel goes down. Puck played off the right wing wall by Gaudette. Tracked down by Colin Miller. Miller starting out of his own end. Miller tripped up. Penalty coming up here on the Pirates. O'Neill over the line. His drive, kick, save. Rebound goes wide.
It went right into the slot. Monarchs on the puck though behind.
O'Neill, quick shot from the left circle by Wheel, and a save by the goaltender Domingue, and a penalty coming up here on the Pirates.
This is an enormous power play for the Manchester Monarchs. Up 2-0 right now. An opportunity to really set the tempo for the rest of this game. if they are able to bury the puck on the power play. But another tremendous shift. Line after line has been tremendous for the Monarchs tonight, and that needs to continue.
Power play for the Monarchs here. Shore will take the draw up front with Dowd and Backman. Loverty and Bodnarchuk on the points to start this power play for the Monarchs. Loverty has it. Back to Bodnarchuk. Bods to Loverty, right side. Loverty, his pass deflected. Shore has it left wing corner now. Portland tries to clear, kept in by the Monarchs. Puck loose, comes into the right wing corner. Wache on it, and Wache able to send it the length of the ice. Ruby stops it behind the net, leaves it for Bodnarchuk. Bodnarchuk starting out of his own zone for the Monarchs, up 2-0. Center right, Shore back to Bods. Bods with it, wraps it around the wall on the near side. Taken by Philip Samuelson on the trapezoid. Loose puck out in front. Still loose, but skated away by Gaudette. Now tracking it down in his own zone is Bodnarchuk in front of his own net. Bods takes it behind the cage. Bods has it in the trapezoid for the Monarchs. Drops it off for Colin Miller. Miller in the neutral zone. Miller plays it left side for Mersch. Mersch along the left wing wall. Drops it off for Wheel, left wing circle. Throws it out in front. Loose puck skated away by Shinneman. Shinneman broken up in the neutral zone by Miller. Miller's pass deflected. Wheel has it at his own line. Monarchs on the power play. O'Neill with it, right wing side. O'Neill taken to the wall by Dahlbeck. Puck is loose. Miller can't keep it in, and it comes into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Berube leaves it for Colin Miller, who skates it behind his own net. Less than a minute to play, 50 seconds to go in the period, 30 seconds remaining on the Monarchs' power play. Sent in off the end wall. Mersch battling for it now. O'Neill with it. O'Neill, side of the left wing circle to Wheel. Back to the left point to Miller. Miller a drive, knocked down in front. Reese on it for Portland. And Reese sends it all the way down the length of the ice. Berube with it, drops it off for Schultz. Now with it, neutral zone, Shore. Shore shifting over the line. Backman's shot saved by the goaltender, and covering up in the blue paint is Domingue with 1 second remaining on the penalty to Schwartz. 19.7 seconds remaining in the period. Faceoff will come in the Portland zone. Faceoff right wing circle. Shore will take the draw with Gaudette. As we await the drop of the puck from Jeremy Lovett, one of the linesmen here tonight, along with Alex Stagnone. Off the draw, puck loose. Kept in at the line by Gravel. Penalty has expired. Domingue plays it into the near side corner. Pirates come away with it. Gaudette chips it into the Portland end of the ice. Tracked down by Forbert on it. Dowd to Shore, neutral zone. Puck comes deep in the Portland end, and that will do it for period number one here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. A strong start for the Manchester Monarchs as they skate off the ice with a 2-0 lead over the Portland Pirates on the strength of goals by Michael Mersch and Ryan Horvat. Chris Ryan standing by down below, and momentarily Chris will have the opportunity to chat with a member of the Monarchs as they leave the ice and head into their locker room after one period of play, having outshot the Portland Pirates in the opening 20 minutes by a margin of 17-8. Chris is in the runway, and we turn it over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Going to wait on Michael Mersch here to join us after the first period of play. So we'll hold here for just a second as Michael is coming right out now after a great first period for the Manchester Monarchs. And, you know, when a team is faced with the type of adversity this team was faced with going into this contest, incredibly impressive. And Michael, obviously this is the toughest spot you guys have been in this year, and the response in the first period, the way that you guys attacked, used the D, got to the net, all the things you needed to do, it seemed like a great first.
Yeah, I don't think it was really much of a response. I think we brought it to them. That was our game plan. It's been our game plan all series. You know, we got to keep moving forward. That period's over, and we just got to keep building.
No question, and some of the things you guys did well in the first period, using the D seemed a little more active. also getting to the net, that was a big key for you guys as well in that first.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job of it all year. It's getting to the net and staying there, and battling in front. And we did that period, and it showed.
Obviously, when this team skates, it can do great things. That was there. Also, JF was very strong in the first period of play. Confident, came out and made a number of big stops.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff's great. He's been great for us all year, like I've been saying. Our whole team's been great all year. So we're just, we've had that confidence coming into this game. We're going to try to carry it out through the rest of the game here.
Mershey, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Monarchs forward Michael Mersch after a strong first period for the Manchester Monarchs, up 2-0. We send it back up to you, Ken.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. And thanks to Michael Mersch, who scored the first Monarchs goal of the night early in the first period to stake the Monarchs to a 1-0 lead at 1:42 of period number one. The Monarchs would go on to add another goal at 16:34 on a misplay behind the net by Portland goaltender Louis Domingue. And Andrew Crescenzi able to pick the pocket of Domingue in the trapezoid and send it out in front to Ryan Horvat, who was able to bury it into a wide open, yawning cage. And that gave the Monarchs a 2-0 lead as the goal was scored by Horvat from Crescenzi and Grattan. 2-0 Monarchs after 20 minutes of hockey here. Game 5 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal series at the Verizon Wireless Arena. We will be back with more in 2 minutes right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Oh my gosh. Really? I'm so sorry. Really. He's not usually like this, but with Verizon XLTE, he can stream his hockey on the go. So when updates and highlights come in, well, sometimes he can't help but he just really loves his hockey.
With double the 4G LTE bandwidth in cities nationwide, Verizon XLTE turns anytime into hockey time. Coverage not available everywhere. See VerizonWireless.com for details.
Last year, Bud Light filled the town with people who were up for whatever happened. Yeah, so they're doing it again. What? Bud Light is doing another Whatever USA. Okay. Cases. With all new events. Just a 15-second video. A 15-second video telling Bud Light why you should do. Okay, gang? Okay. If you're up for whatever US, submit your 15 seconds with hashtag up for whatever and hashtag audition for a chance to go. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light beer, 18+, St. Louis, Missouri. What?
Imagine a new model for healthcare where no one has to face cancer alone, where patients are the center of a comprehensive cancer-fighting team. It's happening here in New England. Imagine doctors armed with the latest technology and treatment options, and working with you as a partner in all your treatment decisions. Learn more about Dartmouth-Hitchcock's
Join the
Norris
music
Cotton
in
Cancer
7.
Center
Okay.
at cancer.dartmouth.edu. Dartmouth-Hitchcock. Imagine.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. We are between periods 1 and 2 with the Manchester Monarchs leading the Portland Pirates by a score of 2-0. This is the only remaining series in the Eastern Conference. All the others have been wrapped up. In action last night, Hershey ousted Worcester 10-4 at Giants Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So Worcester wins that series 3-1. Casey Wellman had the hat trick for the Hershey Bears in that lopsided win. He also had an assist for the Hershey Bears. So Hershey moves on. In overtime, Hartford eliminated Providence by a score of 3-2. Tommy Hughes with the game-winning goal for the Hartford Wolfpack at 4:35 of the overtime period. And in Chicago, I should say in Utica, in overtime, Chicago defeated the Utica Comets 4-3. That series now tied at 2 victories apiece. Joel Edmondson with the game-winning goal for Chicago at 2:19 of overtime on the power play. Monarchs leading this one by a score of 2-0. First period goals by Michael Mersch and Ryan Horvat. So the top-seeded Monarchs in action here tonight against the 8th-seeded Portland Pirates. The Hershey Bears have moved on. The Hartford Wolfpack have moved on, and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins have moved on. So all the top seeds have held so far, and we will see what unfolds here tonight. In action this evening, Chicago is at Utica, and the other game has Toronto at Grand Rapids. Chicago and Utica tied at 2 victories apiece, and Toronto leading Grand Rapids 2-1. After the first period tonight in Utica, the Chicago Wolves and the Utica Comets are scoreless. Late in the first period, Grand Rapids leads at home over Toronto by a score of 2-1. As far as action in the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs this afternoon at New York's Madison Square Garden, the New York Rangers were able to even up their series with the Washington Capitals. So that series now tied at 1 victory apiece. 3-2 was the final score in that one this afternoon at the world's most famous sports arena. Favored American Pharoah won today's Kentucky Derby, beating Firing Line and Dortmund. The winning time for the mile and a quarter race, 2:03:02, 2 minutes 3 seconds and 0.2 of a second. And Bob Baffert, the winning trainer, he's the trainer of both American Pharoah and Dortmund. American Pharoah paid $7.80, $5.80, and $4.20. Firing Line $8.40 and $5.20, and Dortmund paid $4.20 for placing. So that's the Kentucky Derby result. Of course, the big fight tonight going on in Las Vegas. Floyd Mayweather taking on Manny Pacquiao. Major League Baseball this afternoon. It was the New York Yankees over the Red Sox by a final of 4-2. Yankees have won the first 2 games of that series and will play the third and final game of the series tomorrow night in the ESPN Sunday Night Special at Fenway Park. Other final scores in baseball today: Minnesota over the White Sox 5-3. In 11 innings, it was the Cardinals over the Pirates 2-1. At Wrigley, Milwaukee over the Cubs 6-1. In San Francisco, the Giants beat the Angels 5-4. In Miami, the Marlins over Philadelphia 7-0. And in Cleveland, it was the Blue Jays over the Indians 11-4. Games in progress. In St. Pete tonight, bottom of the third, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Baltimore Orioles are scoreless. Of course, the Orioles, the home team in that game, as those games have been moved to Tropicana Field because of the unrest in Baltimore. Bottom third in Atlanta, no score, the Reds and the Braves. Top third in Kansas City, no score, the Tigers and the Royals. Top of the third in Houston, Seattle leading Houston 3-2. After 2 at Citi Field, Washington 1 and the New York Mets nothing. And still ahead tonight, Oakland at Texas, Colorado at San Diego, and Arizona in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. If you're just joining us, Monarchs with a 2-0 lead in this one after 1 period of play at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs Radio Network presented by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. We will take a 2-minute break and be back with more right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
tug. After work, great night out with friends. Enjoy our closing. A's short ribs, grilled noodles, sirloin, fresh catch of the day. Classic designer burgers, grilled flatbread pizza, and artisan cheese boards using locally sourced food. JD's Company of Grill which explore your life with Manchester Historic Milliard. Or after the game for lunch or dinner, just a fun night out with friends. Try the upscale tavern, JD's Tavern, Radisson Hotel, downtown Manchester.
Energy North Propane has been serving the Merrimack Valley, Seacoast, and Lakes region for a long time. Through the years, they've learned how to treat their customers, and they're committed to those relationships. Energy North employees are your neighbors. They care about quality workmanship, dependability, safety, and clean air and water for our children. That's the Energy North Propane commitment. EnergyNorthPropane.com.
Manchester Oral Surgery. Treat your Manchester Monarchs for their mouth, face, and tooth injuries. Dr. Mark Hochberg and Dr. Mark Abel can remove your wisdom teeth or place dental implants. Advances in technology like our cone beam CT scan and state-of-the-art infused bone grafting allows Drs. Hochberg and Abel to work with your dentist to replace your missing teeth without the need for removable dentures. Go where the Monarchs go to treat their injuries. Drs. Hochberg and Abel can be reached at www.manchesteroralsurgery.com or by calling 622-9441.
State Farm, this is Greg.
Just calling to say thanks for the gift of bagpipes. We switched our auto and home insurance to State Farm and saved ourselves $825.
Some save even more. Save hundreds when you combine auto and home insurance with State Farm.
Here's one that I call the Combine and Save Polka.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
7 seconds.
Average household savings based on 2012 National Survey of New Policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
After one period of play here at the Verizon Wireless Arena, Monarchs 2 and the Portland Pirates nothing in this Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal series between these two clubs. It's been the home teams who have won every game in this series. Monarchs winning the first two here, 5-2 and 6-2. Portland winning the next two in Portland, 3-2 and 5-0. Jordan Wheel of the Monarchs, the leading scorer in the postseason, entering tonight's game. Jordan Wheel through 4 games, 4 goals and 2 assists with 6 points. However, he's been tied now by Michael Mersch, as Mersch scored his 4th goal of the postseason in the first period. So Mersch and Wheel now both with 4 goals and 2 assists as the leading scorers in the postseason in the American Hockey League. Teemu Pulkkinen of the Grand Rapids Griffins, the leading goal scorer. He has 5 goals in the postseason. Connor Sheary of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. Same for Cameron Schilling of the Hershey Bears, Seth Griffith of the Providence Bruins, Matthew Ford of Oklahoma City with a goal and 4 assists, Josh Levo of Toronto with a goal and 4 assists, Tim Kennedy of Hershey with a goal and 4 assists, and Pat Cannone of Chicago with 5 assists. So those are the top scorers in the postseason thus far. Monarchs and the Portland Pirates, well, this is actually their 17th meeting of the season. The Manchester Monarchs, of course, dominated the regular season series between the two clubs and won the VIP Cup for the 2nd consecutive year. So congratulations to the Monarchs for that. And Portland Pirates have proved to be a very worthy opponent here in this opening round of the playoffs, and there's still plenty of hockey to be played here tonight. Keep up with the Monarchs wherever you are. Join the team online to gain access to all of the Monarchs special promotions and take a look behind the scenes of Monarchs country. Visit ManchesterMonarchs.com for a one-stop shop for Monarchs social media accounts. And fans, don't forget to bring your game-used Monarchs ticket into E&R Cleaners retail stores and receive 20% off your dry cleaning order. You can go for your career goal and get your degree at Southern New Hampshire University. Southern New Hampshire University offers over 100 undergraduate and graduate degree programs, including the Global MBA and programs in sport management and justice studies. Southern New Hampshire University on campus, on location, and online at snhu.edu. Monarchs on top here by a score of 2-0 after one period of play, and Chris Ryan standing by down below. And Chris, what were your thoughts on period number one?
I thought that was a fabulous first period for the Monarchs, and interesting, the take from Michael Mersch that this is just a continuation of what they've done all year, and they have viewed this, just basically as an extension of that, and there's nothing different about this. That's been kind of the approach. Obviously, there is a difference about this game as compared to all the other games so far this season, but the approach has been a good one for the Monarchs so far in the first.
That it has, and we hope it continues for another 40 minutes here tonight. After one, Monarchs 2, Pirates nothing. We'll be back with second period action after these words on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Downtown Manchester living at its best, just steps from the theaters, boutiques, and nightlife. Red Oak Apartment Homes can help.
So this is a 60.
Yep.
You like to live in an apartment home that is pet friendly, an apartment home that has a pool, clubhouse, and a gym? Then let Red Oak Apartment Homes help you make Sunset Ridge your new home. Or with a renovated lot in the historic St. George School Memorial style. Discover Red Oak Apartment Homes today and start exploring the largest selection of affordable to luxury apartment homes in the state. Red Oak Apartment Homes has historical, urban to suburban, studios, lofts, 1 to 4 bedrooms, and many apartments with utilities included, starting at only $599 a month. Visit the Red Oak Apartment Homes website at www.redoakproperties.com for a full list of available apartment homes and soon
All yours in 7.
All right.
www.redoakproperties.com.
We have you covered tonight for Manchester Monarchs hockey on WGAM Manchester, WGHM Nashua, and 107.7 WTPL Hillsboro. Big network tonight for this big game, number 5, do or die for these teams here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. And Chris, they were showing the highlights just moments ago here on the Jumbotron, and certainly J.F. Berube, a big part of that first period success for the Monarchs.
There's no question he's been incredibly sharp in this game, up to the task so far. And the Monarchs, in terms of their execution, it's been great so far in this game, and that has to continue. The Monarchs cannot let up in any shape or form.
Dow to take the draw against Gaudette as we get set for second period action here. Off the face-off, puck loose in the neutral zone. Now comes deep in the Portland end of the ice, giving chase is Hanley. Hanley sends it neutral zone, knocked down there by Loverty. Up with it, Hanley in his own end. Slides it across ice, and we get a whistle and a stoppage in play. We've played 18 seconds of the second period. 17 shots for the Monarchs in the opening period, 8 for the Portland Pirates. Face-off will come in the Monarch zone. Right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. Gaudette endowed on the draw. Off the face-off. Won by the Pirates, Hanley with it. Throws it behind the net, up with it Bodnerchuk, sends it around the wall for Kempe. Now in the neutral zone, puck is loose, down, and Gaudette battle for it in the half moon. Philip Samuelson comes away with it. Now Bodnerchuk plays it neutral zone, knocked down there by Perlini. Battling with Kempe, a pair of young players. Now Gaudette neutral zone, stolen by Kempe, and Kempe sends it deep into the Portland end of the ice.
Good effective shift there from Kempe as he comes off.
Puck sent all the way down the length of the ice. Will it go far enough? No, it won't go far enough for icing. Schultz plays it behind his own net for Colin Miller. Auger now, center ice for Wheel. Wheel over the line, right side. Wheel in the circle. Wheel shot and a save, far post.
Yeah, just holds it right there. The puck was just sitting along his pad as Wheel, instant offense, one-man offense. You're going to give him a number of nicknames. He has 6 points in this series, and right there, he is able to skate into the zone. Shinneman gives him some space, and he takes it coming along Wynn's side. Monarchs force the face-off, and an opportunity for puck possession in the offensive zone off a win.
Wheel and Mersch actually tied for the lead in postseason scoring in the American Hockey League. Puck chipped into the neutral zone. Shinneman has it in his own end now for Portland. Schultz has it right in front of the Portland bench. Now in his own zone, sends it neutral zone to Wheel. Wheel shifting over the line down the middle, left side to O'Neill. O'Neill throws it in front, loose puck skated away by Dvorak. Dvorak plays it neutral zone. Henrik Samuelsson has it over the line. Samuelsson pass stolen away by Auger. Monarchs with the numbers. O'Neill over the line, left side moving in. His drive hit the post.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, Brian O'Neill hit the post.
Yeah, Domingue Bay penalty is upcoming from him behind, and Brian O'Neill is hurt.
Auger
Ruby comes off.
Yeah.
Mike Stothers is up on the bench, and Brian O'Neill is headed off. Samuelson's headed to the box. Mike Stothers wants 5 minutes. Mike Muir is going off with Brian O'Neill as they took a huge run, and I didn't see it. I was watching the play.
No, I didn't either.
O'Neill let the shot go, rang it off the post, and then ended up here on the boards. Replay upcoming now. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Elbow and then stick up high. O'Neill facing the boards. That was brutal.
That's got to be 5. That has got to be 5.
5 in the gate.
Absolutely. The officials discussing it in the half moon area right now. We played a minute 59 of the second period. That was a vicious hit by Henrik Samuelsson.
He targeted the head. I mean, that's it in a nutshell right there. He targeted the head first off, and then O'Neill also facing the boards.
Yep.
He targeted the back of O'Neill's head.
It's pretty clear. There's no black and white in that issue, I'll tell you. Or I should say no gray area. I mean, it was clear cut. The officials still discussing it. And we'll see what the decision is. Schwartz pleading the Portland case. And it will be 5. It will be a major. As
no ejection, though.
Tom Chmielewski goes over to talk with Mike Stothers.
O'Neill is back on the bench, so that's really good news.
That is. That's the best news yet. And O'Neill ready to go, back on the bench.
So this is it right here, Ken. There's a chance for the Monarchs to really dictate the outcome of this game. 5 minutes, score as many as you can.
Off the face-off, Bodnarchuk back out to the line to Loverty, back to Bods. Right side, Monarchs have it. Now Loverty, left wing circle. Loverty with it along the left wing wall. Loverty drops it off in the corner, stolen by the Pirates and cleared. Into the Monarchs end of the ice. Monarchs on top 2-0, out shooting the Pirates 18-8 on a 5-minute power play here. Bodnarchuk, his pass broken up in the neutral zone and sent behind the net by the Pirates. Stopped by Berube in the trapezoid, leaves it for Bodnarchuk. Bods has it, starting out of his own end. Bods in the neutral zone. Sent behind the net, stopped there by Domingue and kept in by Loverty. With it, Shore, left wing side. He drops it off. Left point, Bodnarchuk sends it right side. Loverty, a one-timer, saved by the goaltender Domingue. It was a very quick whistle. Very quick whistle. Domingue never had control of that puck. 3:59 remaining on the Monarchs' 5-minute power play. Face-off will come in the Portland zone. Monarchs out shooting the Pirates 20-8.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't know how the official, despite the fact that it was blown dead by the officials behind the play, like his body was even still moving. There was no sign of him having control of the puck at all. He was playing it with his stick. I mean, that was just a very, perhaps just an inadvertent whistle.
Now Wheel has it, right wing side, back out to Schultz. One-timer, Miller, and he fanned on it. Couldn't get anything on that one. Monarchs keep it alive, however. Schultz drops it off right side to Wheel. Wheel has it, back to Schultz. Schultz with it, throws it through a screen, deflected wide of Domingue. Back out to Miller. Miller drops it off right side to Wheel. Now Miller gets it again inside the line, center point. Left side to Brian O'Neill, left wing circle. O'Neill back out to Miller. Miller sends it to Schultz. Right wing circle, cross ice pass. O'Neill throws it in front. Puck is loose. Shot score by Wheel. Jordan Wheel poked it home by Domingue. And the Monarchs lead it 3-0.
O'Neill curl and drag in between his legs. Got it towards the net. And then cross ice to Wheel, who buries it. Monarchs still with 3:15 to go on the major. Up 3-0.
Time of the goal for Jordan Wheel, 3:44 of the second period. And for Wheel, goal number 5 of the postseason. Monarchs on the power play, as Chris said, for another 3:15. Off the draw, puck comes into the Portland end of the ice, taken by Philip Samuelson. He tees
Active
it up.
Stick from Mersch, too. Mersch may have made contact with that puck and getting it on over towards Wheel, as his stick was active down low. Not sure if it just ended up on Wheel's stick off of the play by O'Neill, but again, Wheel tracking the puck, got on it quick before Domingue, and on that 50-50 play with him and the netminder, pounds it home.
Now puck squirts free into the neutral zone. On it, Bodnarchuk in his own end. 2:45 to go on the Monarchs elongated power play. Now Loverty leaves it for Bodnarchuk. Bodnarchuk in the neutral zone, just inside the red line. Sends it behind the net. Domingue drops it off for Philip Samuelson. Kept alive by the Monarchs. Back out to the line to Bodnarchuk. To Loverty. Now to Backman off his skate. Taken by Philip Samuelson. Sent behind the net to Dahlbeck, and he clears it the length of the ice. Stopped behind the net by Berube. 2:10 to go on the major penalty to Henrik Samuelsson. Miller starting out of his own end. Colin Miller, center circle, down the middle, drops it off. Right side, now Wheel collects left wing side for the Monarchs. Wheel, center point to Schultz. Right side, Miller pulls the trigger and fires it high and wide of Domingue.
Took a strange carom off the boards on the Selleck, but a nice job by Miller on the back check to break him up.
And now whistle, stoppage and play here with 14:44 to go in the middle period. 1:43 remaining on the Henrik Samuelsson major. 3-0 Monarchs. Mersch, Horvat, and Wheel responsible for the goals. Wheel's 5th. Of the postseason. Let's see where they're going to place the faceoff. Seems to be a little discussion about that. A little confusion.
Neutral zone.
Just outside the Monarchs end of the ice. Monarchs on the power play. Wheel will take the draw out there with O'Neill and Mersch. Schultz and Miller on the points right now for the Monarchs. Schultz has it in his own zone. Takes it behind the net in the trapezoid and leaves it for Colin Miller. Miller with it. Center ice off the stick of O'Neill, giving chase is Gormley. Gormley tied up by O'Neill along the end wall, but the puck cleared into the Monarchs end of the ice, tracked down by Colin Miller. Miller takes it behind his own net. Miller starts out of his own zone. Colin Miller with it at center ice. Miller fires it into the left wing corner. Monarchs on it. Schultz keeps it in at the line. Schultz left side, sends it right side to Shore. His drive is deflected wide.
Trying to pick a spot up high and missed the net.
Now puck is loose. Keeping it alive, Backman. Backman tried to hit Schultz, but broken up by Awache. Now Schwartz on it for Portland. Schwartz gets around one man. Now up with the puck is Schultz.
And Miller tried the hip check right in front of me.
O'Brien with it. Drops it off for Miller. Coming down to 30 seconds remaining on the Monarchs power play.
They could have called Portland for too many.
Now Berube plays it near side in his own zone to Schultz. Shore plays at neutral zone, but it's taken by Philip Samuelson. Now puck loose, center ice on it. Forbert to Shore. Back to Forbert. Forbert in the slot. His shot off the end wall. Cleared by Portland into the neutral zone. Penalty winding down to Henrik Samuelsson. Forbert with it. Now Samuelsson is out of the box. Monarchs with it in their own end. Forbert broken up by Henrik Samuelsson in the neutral zone. Giving chase Gravel in his own end. Gravel plays it around the wall, far side. And played.
Again, could have been too
yeah,
many
I know. I honestly thought they were going to call it there.
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Now
time.
they're going to call a penalty on the Monarchs.
12:38 to go here in the middle period, and now Portland will be going on the power
That was the
play.
second time, and they blatantly had too many men on the ice. The power play, they had one skater who was out by the trusted choice side when the other player was going off, and that time they had also too many men on the ice.
It'll be a trip on Dowd. Portland power play coming up in 60 seconds right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Check access to Boston Regional Airport first. Check MHG for easy access. On-site parking, Wi-Fi, and access to a second-hand business center. Check MHG. Non-stop jet service to Atlanta, Baltimore, Washington, Charlotte, Chicago, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, Tampa, Washington, Nashville, Florida. The next stop of your plans call for air travel. Remember, check Manchester Boston Regional Airport first. Buy local, live MHG.
Morgan Press is a proud supporter of the Manchester Monarchs. Why not let Morgan Press be a proud supporter of your business? For over 30 years, Morgan Press has been delivering quality work at a reasonable price. Morgan Press, all your commercial and digital printing needs. Please visit our website for more information. 7 seconds, 7. www.morganpress.com.
Gormley with it. Center point for Portland on the power play. Shinneman right circle. Sends it cross ice. Shot goes wide off the stick of McNeil.
Yeah, McNeil, if he put that on the net, it looked like he had Berube moving, but instead he tried to make a pass.
Now Henrik Samuelsson goes
Warburg
down.
took down Samuelsson.
Yep.
Portland wanted a call.
Now Shore over the line, left side. Shore has it in the Portland end of the ice. Plays it back in his own end. Forbert giving chase for the Monarchs. Down in the box for a trip. Puck comes in behind the Portland cage. Stopped by Domingue in the trapezoid. 3-0 Monarchs. Just under 12 minutes to play here in the middle period. Portland over the line. And going down is Shinneman hard into the end wall.
Just good hockey contact there from Schultz, body to body.
Puck loose along the left wing wall. McNeil to Gormley just inside the line. And he bobbles it into the neutral zone. Now Gormley to McNeil, broken up in the neutral zone by O'Brien. Now Gormley with it. Gormley, center ice. Lesio with it. Lesio shifting over the line. Drops it off for Henrik Samuelsson. Now stolen by the Monarchs and cleared the length of the ice by Forbert. 38 seconds remaining on the tripping penalty to Nick Dowd. 3-0 Monarchs. Off the stick of Philip Samuelsson. Now played ahead. Philip Samuelsson gets it back. Wrapped around the wall on the near side. Forbert battling. Kept alive by Lesio, but stolen away by O'Neill. Ryan O'Neill slowed down by a pair of Pirates and now cleared by Domingue ahead. With a half step was Schwartz, but Gravel caught right up to him. He did get a shot off. Berube made the stop. Now Lesio with it. His shot deflected.
Blocked by Wheel.
Wheel has
a
it.
loose puck too.
And Wheel sends it neutral zone to Dowd, just out of the box. Dowd, left wing circle, a drive blocked in the left wing circle. Gravella drive saved by Domingue, kept in by Loverty.
Yeah, tremendous play by Gravel on the recovery there. Cannon Schwartz was able to get the shot off. JF really is his first time he's seen the puck in this period.
Now Gravel, a shot, a save. Now Horvat with a drive that goes wide. Kept in by Gravel at the line. Plays it off the far wall. Horvat with it in the corner. Horvat battling, sends it to Wheel. Now with it, Grattan. Grattan throws it out in front. Pass deflected in the slot, stolen by the Pirates. Less than 10 minutes to play in the middle period. 3-0 Monarchs. Puck comes all the way down the length of the ice. Icing called against Portland. And we'll face it off in the Pirate zone.
Halfway through this one, Ken, the Monarchs up 3-0. It's been a solid performance from the Manchester Monarchs from start to midpoint. Now it's all about the close, the final 30 minutes of this contest. And we'll see if the Monarchs are able to have the same focus and intensity, attention to detail, as we'll have a timeout here by the Portland Pirates. Give their unit that's out there a little bit of breather after that icing.
You know, they didn't give Portland credit for a shot. I thought Berube made a save down. He obviously did make a save.
And it was on goal, so no question.
Yeah. So they should have one shot in this period anyway, but they had 8 at the end of the first period. Monarchs with 6 in this period. And 1 goal coming on the power play. The long power play after the penalty was called, a major on Henrik Samuelsson, but Samuelsson not ejected from the game. 9:52 to go in the second period. 3-0 Monarchs on top in this one. Face off right circle to the left of Louis Domingue. Shore on the draw with Gaudette. As they jostle for position in the right wing face-off circle, off the draw. Puck still loose in the circle. Now Portland with it, over the line. Lesio with it left side. His drive goes wide to the stick side of Berube. Now Gaudette tied up by Miller along the end wall. In the Manchester zone, dug out by Shore to Forbert. Forbert far side, drops it into the neutral zone for Mersch. Now Backman with it, throws it off the end wall, collected by Dahlbeck behind his own net. Dahlbeck starting out of his own zone, plays it neutral zone to Perlini. Now puck is loose in the slot, still loose in on Berube, made the stop. Now Selleck with it in the right wing corner. Selleck along the right wing wall, drops it off for Perlini. Perlini for Selleck along the right wing wall, bumped by Bodnerchuk. Selleck sends it along the wall. Bod's battling for it, side of the right wing circle. Perlini pokes it ahead. Wache battling with Loverty along the end wall, off to our right. In the Monarchs end of the ice, dug out by Shore.
The desire has been there for the Monarchs too. 50-50 pucks, they're winning them consistently.
Now Shore's clear, knocked down by Gormley, who plays it back to McNeil. Tries to hit Wache, bumped by Bodnerchuk. Now with it, Lane. Lane takes it behind the net on the trapezoid for Portland. Lane has it, left wing side, back to the line for Gormley. Gormley sends it to Wache. Wache and Shore battling along the end wall for the puck, taken by Lane right side. Lane in the right wing circle. His drive saved by Berube. Now Greg Miller for Portland. His shot saved by Berube as he let it go from a bad angle. Penalty coming up on the Monarchs. It'll be a slash as Lane is down in the trapezoid behind Berube. 8:04 to go, second period. Portland power play coming up in 60 seconds right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Seconds, 10.
All right. Portland on the power play. Trailing the Monarchs 3-0. Face off right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. Shinneman and Dowd on the draw. And the puck deflected up into the netting in the right wing corner off the face-off.
Face-off should be outside of the zone.
It should be. But I don't think it's going to be. Shinneman and out again on the faceoff. Right wing circle to the left of Berube. Off the draw, puck came off the end wall, and Berube smothered the carom at the near post. Face-off again, right circle to the left of JF. Monarchs with Dowd out there along with Miller, Schultz, and O'Brien. False start on the face-off, and we'll try it again. Alex Stagno, the linesman, doing the honors in the right wing circle. Now it's Zach O'Brien taking the draw against Shinneman. Shinneman gets it back out to the line to Gormley, back to Shinneman. Cross ice pass collected by the Pirates. McNeil drops it off for Henrik Samuelsson. Back out it goes to McNeil, center point. Now Gormley to Shinneman. Shinneman tripped up on the slot.
O'Brien got him.
Now Dowd moving in, one-on-one with McNeil, broken up by McNeil, and Gormley comes away with the puck.
No, Obi could have been called on that one as he got the stick in and brought him down.
No doubt about that. Now Gormley left circle, throws it in front, shot, score!
Took a weird bounce, ended up getting through JF off of a deflection towards the empty net. Not sure if a Monarch got it or if it was one of the Portland Pirates.
I think it was Samuelsson, Henrik Samuelsson, I do believe, but we'll look at the replay. So a power play goal for Portland cuts the margin to 2.
I don't know.
Tough to tell. One way or the other, it wound up in the back of the net, and
yeah, I don't know. It looked like the puck deflected and went into the back of the net, as you mentioned, Ken, off of the initial shot. And it's a 2-goal game, 3-1.
Time of the goal, 12:33 on the power play. So we're back to a 2-goal game. Monarchs on top. Philip Samuelsson tied up along the wall by Crescenzi. Portland comes away with the puck, kept in by Forbert. Puck now taken by Philip Samuelsson, tied up along the wall by Crescenzi in the Portland zone. Grattan giving chase, tied up by a pair of Pirates. Now puck loose along the end wall. Dug out by the Pirates in their own zone. And Rick Samuelsson getting credit for the goal. His second of this postseason series. Now with it is Gaudette, plays it in along the right wing wall. Gravel bumped by Gaudette along the end wall. Crescenzi up with the puck. Crescenzi, neutral zone, plays it deep in the Portland end of the ice. Now played far side by the Pirates in their own end. Puck comes deep into the Monarchs end of the ice. Berube plays it.
Yeah, he'll play it because it was deflected. There's not going to be any icing.
Laverde drops it ahead. Neutral zone, Mersch with it. Mersch over the line. He's slowed down by Reese. Now Shore with it.
Great puck
drops
support.
it off. Laverde a drive goes wide.
Deflected by Backman. Monarchs, great setup there. Now flying around the offensive zone.
Now far side, Lesio with it. Lesio drops it into the neutral zone. Taken by Shore at the red line. Shore bowled over by Wache.
Yeah, he loaded up on Shorzy.
Now on it is Schultz. Schultz plays it ahead. Wheel to O'Neill. O'Neill over the line, left side. Drops it off for Wheel. Now Backman, his pass deflected, kept in by Miller. Miller plays it behind the net. And now we're going to get a penalty here.
Domingue.
And O'Neill is going to go off.
See, I hate that. I hate that penalty. Hate it. I mean, both of them have the right to play the puck. I understand it's a goaltender or whatever, but the goaltender's out of his net. He's going to play the puck. O'Neill's going to play the puck. Why shouldn't they both have the opportunity to get to that space?
Well, I think most of the people in this building would agree with you. But nonetheless.
Look at that. I mean, It's not only that. The contact is being made with him by the defenseman.
Yep.
He's actually getting pushed into the netminder, Domingue. That's an awful call.
Yeah, even worse than we thought
he's
initially.
Getting screened.
Yeah.
He's fighting through it to get to the puck. The contact is made with Domingue only because O'Neill was pushed into the netminder.
He was pushed by Reese. Yep, no question. Now McNeil with a drive. That is deflected out of play. Portland on the power play once again. Minute 54 remaining on the interference call to Brian O'Neill.
I mean, O'Neal has no place to go in that instance. He's fighting to get through, and Reese is making contact with him. He's getting squeezed into the netminder, and even if he didn't want to make contact with the netminder, there's no way he wasn't going to.
It was unavoidable, that's for sure. Now McNeil with it behind his own net. 3-1 Monarchs, 5:15 to go in the second period. Henrik Samuelsson plays it into the Monarch zone. Forbert on it and clears it all the way down the length of the ice. And now
high stick.
Played
Puck was
by
played by
high
high
stick.
stick when the puck was being cleared out of the zone. That'll result in a face-off down in the Portland zone with 5:06 to go here in the second period of play. 1:32 to go on the call against O'Neal.
Monarchs on top by a score of 3-1. The assist.
For the record, I didn't think it was a high stick, but
we have you down for that. It has been entered. It has been entered into the record. I'm entering it right now. The assists on the wheel goal, by the way, to Mersch and O'Neal. The third Monarchs goal of the night. Now played ahead by Henrik Samuelsson in the corner. Puck loose along the end wall. Now giving chase far side. Crescenzi, and it's kept in at the line by Shinneman. Shinneman stolen by Mersch, and Mersch able to clear it all the way down the length of the ice. A minute remaining on the penalty to Brian O'Neal. 4.5 minutes to go in the second period. Forbert giving chase with Dvorak along the end wall in the Manchester end of the ice. Taken by Auger, and Auger clears at the length of the ice. Doming in the trapezoid sends it far side to Gormley. Gormley with it in his own end. 35 seconds remaining on the Monarchs' Terminix penalty kill. Now with it, Gaudette sends it cross ice. There's a drive that goes over the net by Philip Samuelsson, taken by Gaudette. Back to Gormley's center point. Skates the line, drops it off for Gaudette. Gaudette, left wing side in the circle, throws it down low, gets it back, shot, score, Gaudette. From Schwartz. Power play goal, 3-2 Monarchs.
that one's on the referees.
Yep.
And now we got ourselves a hockey game again.
And there's renewed life off to my left in section 125 with all the red-shirted Portland Pirates
Give
fans.
credit to Portland, too. That's a great setup, great net drive as well. JF coming out to meet the shooter, ended up leaving some space. It's a one-goal game, 3:47 to go here in the second. It's very important for the Monarchs to continue, where they were in this game. With a good, consistent approach.
Wheel has it stolen by Wache. Now knocked away to the neutral zone by Miller. Dahlbeck plays it back in his own end to Philip Samuelsson. 3-2 Monarchs. 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. Gaudette getting his first of the postseason from Schwartz and Gormley. Monarchs with it in the Portland end of the ice, leading 3-2. Now puck loose, taken by the Pirates. On it, Wache in the neutral zone. Wache and Wheel collide at center ice. Colin Miller with it behind his own net for the Monarchs. Miller, far side, spun around by Wache. On it, Lane. Lane and Gravel battling behind the net. Now Wheel steps in. Puck loose, far side. Auger battles for it. Puck loose in the trapezoid. On it, Colin Miller in his own end, and Colin Miller able to clear it into the neutral zone. Tracked down by Dylan Reese in his own end. Now Reese broken up. Gravel giving chase in front of the Portland bench. Plays it ahead, knocked down by the Pirates. Lane on it. Lane has it stripped away by Backman. Led up with it is Reese. Reese drops it into the Monarchs end of the ice, taken by Gravel, near side to Colin Miller. Colin Miller tries to clear, it's kept in, shot by Dauphine, and a save by Berube as the Monarchs turned it over.
Yeah, big time save from JF. Monarchs just need to calm down a little bit here. They were managing the puck very well in their own zone before. Give good puck support and allow for a good clearance of the zone. That time, though, JF came up big. He cut the angle, and he was able to make the stop and hold for the faceoff to his left. Old man momentum, though, clearly on Portland's side right now.
Face off right circle to the left of JF.
Uncle Mo.
Playing away in the Monarch zone. Behind the net, Loverty. His pass broken up.
The stick comes up and rips the helmet off of Loverty.
Wow. And Loverty picks up the helmet. And Shinneman will go to the box for a high stick. Any blood down there?
Only 2.
Only 2 minutes, okay. Well, let's see if the Monarchs can capitalize here on this opportunity. 2:10 to go in the second period. 3-2 Monarchs. Monarchs officially 1 for 4 on the power play in this one.
One of those power plays, that was 7 seconds.
Right.
And another one was 5 minutes.
So they all even out. Monarchs 1 for 4 in this game and 4 for 27 in the series. Portland's 1 for 5 in the game and 5 for 20 in the series. So the faceoff will come in the right wing circle to the left of Domingue. High sticking on Shinneman. See if the Monarchs can capitalize. Philip Samuelson has to get a new stick. Monarchs have Shore, Dowd, and Backman up front. Bodnerchuk and Loverty on the points to open this power play for the Monarchs. Off the draw, puck loose in the right wing circle. It is still loose, kept in by Loverty. Loverty lets it go. It's shot wide, kept in left point by Bodnerchuk. Now Backman to Loverty. Bodnerchuk, center point. Left wing side to Shore. Shore side of the circle, back to Bodnerchuk. Bods to Loverty for a drive, and turned aside by Domingue. Puck wrapped around the wall on the near side. Puck is loose, taken by Gaudette, and cleared by the Pirates. Berube plays at goal line extended, leaves it for Loverty. Captain Vincent Loverty plays at neutral zone to Wheel to O'Neill. O'Neill broken up by Gormley. Now Wache on it at the red line. Long drive saved by Berube and throws it into the corner for Loverty. Now Wheel with it. Wheel to Colin Miller. Miller wraps it around the dasher. Far side. Puck taken by the Monarchs. They tried to set up Wheel in front. Couldn't connect. Now Mersch tracking it down, side of the right wing circle, back to Colin Miller. Miller sends it right wing circle, now to Schultz for a drive, save, loose puck out in front. Shot hit the post.
Behind him, he was looking behind him, and the puck though had deflected into the right wing corner.
Now Miller with it to Schultz, left circle. Schultz throws it in front, deflected wide. Kept in by Miller right side. To O'Neill in the right wing circle, shot saved Domingue.
Puck was loose, but Portland able to get a stick on it.
Cleared the length of the ice by the Pirates. Center ice, Schultz on it. Schultz at the red line, drops it off. Shore over the line. Shore's shot knocked down by Reese. Shot by Backman is deflected wide. Now Gaudette in the corner along the right wing boards. Penalty has expired to Shinneman. Time winding down here in the second period. Backman threw it off the far wall. Now giving chase is Shinneman. Shinneman a drive and a score!
Oh my!
Oh no!
I don't think it's a goal, Ken. I don't think it's a goal.
No, it's waved off. It is waved off.
We're gonna look at it. But.
Wow! It is waved off. I'm sure they'll review it.
Wow! From a horrible angle through the
my goodness! Oh, if this is in fact waved off, what a break for the Monarchs. I'm sure they will look at it to see if the puck was over the line before time expired. It was a shot from the left wing side by Shinneman. No goal is the ruling on the ice, but the play is under review. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a big call in this game this will be. What do you think?
I I'm going to say I said no originally, so I'm going to stick with that.
Initially, the goal was emphatically waved off, and it is a goal. We are tied. We are tied at the end of 2 periods. Shinneman will get the equalizer.
Not just that, but with .5 to go on the clock.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Portland has come back with 3 unanswered goals in this period to tie it at 3 with a half second posted back up on the board. Just time enough to drop the puck. I don't know if JF didn't see it, gave up on it. I don't know. Wache and Crescenzi on the draw. That'll do it. What a horrid way for this second period to come to an end here at the Verizon Wireless Arena.
And a lot of talking to JF as he heads off from Portland. A lot of taunting.
Well, didn't expect the period to end that way. We are tied at 3 after 2 periods of play here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Chris Ryan is standing by downstairs, and we'll have a chat with Chris Height. So, Chris, if you're ready, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ken. Joined by Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height, and just your takeaways here through 2 periods of play. Obviously, the Monarchs have done a lot of things well in this game, but you find yourselves even going into the third.
Yeah, you know what? Obviously, we had a 3-0 lead there, and now it's 3-3. So a little adversity never hurts. Obviously, Portland's a worthy opponent. They played very well, and we got to have a third period. Win at 20, win a game.
Absolutely, and you look at the way that the Monarchs have approached this game, the response to adversity so far in this game, very level-headed approach going into this. The team made good decisions with the puck and really played the game to a T through the first period. A lot of penalties in this game were kind of a change to some of the momentum. I thought particularly in the second, the call on O'Neill where he really had no place to go. He was trying to thread the needle. Contact was made with him, and he gets called, and then obviously they get a power play off of that and a power play goal. I thought that was a real turning point in the game, and obviously you guys have to turn the tide again.
Yeah, we do have to turn the tide, and we had the power play there, hit the post at the end with O'Neill, and then they score get a fortunate bounce on the goal. We got to regroup in this intermission and go forward.
Yeah, final thing, message to the guys going into the third.
Win at 20, win a game.
All right, Monarchs coach Chris Height joining us here after the second period of play. Monarchs tied with the Portland Pirates 3-3. This has been the most unpredictable series that I can remember. Just when you think you have it figured out, you don't.
Nope, not a chance. So I think we'll stop trying to figure it out and see what unfolds here over the final 20 minutes or more of this one tonight at the Verizon Wireless Arena. But certainly not the way you want a period to end. And Shinneman with that shot from the side of the left wing circle as the seconds wound down. Scored at the 1959 mark of the period, the equalizer by Shinneman. And the Monarchs have flat out, well, with some help from the officials on that call against Brian O'Neill, that put Portland on the power play. But, the Monarchs will have to come out, and they have been resilient all year long. Come out in the third period with the same kind of passion they had in the first period here this evening, and let's see what takes place. So, after 2 periods of play, Monarchs 3 and the Portland Pirates 3. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll regroup and be back with more from the Verizon Wireless Arena on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
sports that suffer concussions. If your child isn't diagnosed and returned to play, you're playing vulnerable and ineffective minimal force to cause irreversible damage. It's called second impact syndrome, and it can result in retention effects such as play, crushing, and sometimes death. How can we prevent it? Coaches need to assess their players to prevent them from playing if they aren't reacting normally. We need to give those playing testing before kids hurt themselves. Don't test kids with suspected traumatic concussion. If the results are different, we need to stop all activity until medical professionals.
Hi, I'm Andrew Bonnicek, defenseman for the Manchester Monarchs. I recently suffered a concussion in the game, wrestling. Completely stopping all physical activity was crucial to my recovery. Because I did, I was able to get back in the ring. No matter what your age is, when it comes to a concussion, safety first. Rest up and you'll be back before you know it. 8 seconds, 8.
All right. Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena between periods 2 and 3. What a difference a few minutes can make. The Portland Pirates striking twice late in that third period, one very late in that third period. With a half second remaining, Shinneman with a shot from the side of the left wing circle, which somehow managed to get by J.F. Berube into the back of the net and tie this game at 3 apiece at the Verizon Wireless Arena in Game 5 of the series. So it comes down to the final period in this one. Monarchs did have a 3-0 lead in this hockey game not too long ago. Monarchs scored at 1:42 of the opening period. Mersch with his 4th of the postseason, set up by Backman and Schultz. That put the Monarchs up early in this one. And then Horvat with his 1st of the playoffs, as he was set up in front by Crescenzi, who picked the pocket of Louis Domingue in the trapezoid. And that tied the game up at, I should say, it sent the Monarchs up to a 2-0 lead. Horvat his 1st from Crescenzi and Grattan at 16:34 of period number 1. Monarchs would add to their lead on an elongated power play with Henrik Samuelsson in the penalty box for a 5-minute major. Monarchs would score at the 3:44 mark, wheel his 5th, set up by Mersch and O'Neill, to put the Monarchs on top by a score of 3-0. That at 3:44 of period number 2. And then Portland started to chip away at 12:33 on the power play. Henrik Samuelsson would pick up his 2nd of the postseason, set up by Gormley and Shinneman. That made it 3-1 in favor of the Manchester Monarchs. Then Gaudette on the power play at 16:13, set up by Schwartz and Gormley, would make it 3-2. And then just after getting out of the penalty box, Shinneman let one go from the side of the left wing circle, beating J.F. Berube and tying this game at 3 apiece. That's the way we stand right now. Shots on goal in that second period, 9 for the Pirates, a 2-period total of 17, and 9 for the Monarchs, and a 2-period total of 26. So we are tied at 3 after 2 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena in this deciding game number 5. Who will go on? The top-seeded Manchester Monarchs or the 8th-seeded Portland Pirates, who qualified for the postseason on the final day of the regular season? The official on the 3rd goal for Portland, Shinneman, his 2nd from Gaudette, and also assisting Dylan Reese. So that was the equalizer for the Pirates, coming at the 19:59 mark of period number 2 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs Radio Network is presented by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. I want to thank our producers tonight, Tim Glenday at ESPN New Hampshire, our flagship, and Jason J-Dog Arsenault at 107.7 The Pulse. So hold on to your hats. We have lots of hockey remaining here tonight. and hopefully a lot more in the postseason. But we shall see how that plays out over the next 20 minutes here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. We'll take a break and be back with more in 2 minutes right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Those dental benefits, so I'm back. And the dentist you have, you can keep, because Delta Dental has the largest dental networks in the nation. Well, that sounds amazing. So what's the catch? No catch. Enrolling is easy. You can do it online at any time at deltadentalcoversme.com. What's that website again?
That's deltadentalcoversme.com.
Thanks.
10 seconds, 10.
Okay.
Northeast Delta Dental, the region's most experienced dental benefits company. Plans available in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. Ken Cale here along with Chris Ryan. We're between periods 2 and 3. And the Portland Pirates have managed to come from 3 goals down here at the Verizon Wireless Arena to tie the Monarchs at 3. Series tied at 2 victories apiece. Let us see if the Monarchs can continue to be the resilient team they have been all year long and bounce back from this adversity, as Portland tied it up with, as it turned out, a half second left on the clock in the second period. Other scores in the Calder Cup playoffs tonight in Utica. After 2, it's Utica 3 and Chicago 2. That series tied at 2 apiece. Meanwhile, in Grand Rapids tonight after 2, Toronto and Grand Rapids are tied at 2 apiece. And Toronto leading that series 2-1, looking to wrap it up tonight at Grand Rapids. And in the only Stanley Cup playoff game played this afternoon at Madison Square Garden, Rangers over the Capitals 3-2. And that series is tied at 1 victory apiece. American Pharoah won the Kentucky Derby. But everything else kind of meaningless right now compared to what is taking place here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. It's survival time for the Manchester Monarchs, as the Monarchs last year, of course, were the top seed in the East going into the postseason, defeated in 4 games in the first round by the Norfolk Admirals. And right now, the Portland Pirates giving the Monarchs all they can possibly handle here tonight at the Verizon Wireless Arena. And the Monarchs are playing for survival here this evening. If you're having trouble finding a doctor who's accepting new patients and your insurance, or maybe you've moved and haven't found a primary care doctor as yet, well, CMC can help. Call Catholic Medical Center's primary care access line at 314-4750, and they will find the right doctor for you and have your medical records transferred for you as well. Call 314-4750 and get started as soon as you can. Folks, the New Hampshire Orthopedic Center has been the official orthopedic provider for the Manchester Monarchs since they came into the American Hockey League in 2001. New Hampshire Orthopedic Center provides comprehensive care for athletes and non-athletes at convenient locations throughout southern New Hampshire. You can visit them in Nashua, Manchester, Londonderry, Amherst, and Salem. Learn more at nhoc.com. And when you find yourself wanting to replace that old shower curtain or that broken pane of glass in your window, or even if you're a business owner looking to replace your old storefront, all you have to do is call Queen City Glass and Mirror. Commercial or residential, windows or storefront, shower doors or mirrors, glass big or small, they can help you out with all of your glass needs. Come down and see them. They're at 295 Elm Street, just a few blocks down from the Verizon Wireless Arena. And do you know Sandal Auto Parts? Well, Sandal has supported the Manchester Monarchs since day one back in 2001. Stop by your nearest Sandal Auto Parts location and see why they are the preferred auto parts store of your Manchester Monarchs. Sandal Auto Parts, not just parts, parts plus. 3-3 after 2. Officials back out on the ice to a chorus of boos. And coming up, we will have third period action. Monarchs 3, Pirates 3, right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Seconds.
Third period just about to get underway here at the Verizon Wireless Arena, tied at 3. Philip Samuelson with it in his own zone for Portland. Stolen away by the Monarchs. O'Neill to Auger off his stick. Auger plays it along the end wall to Brian O'Neill in the Portland end of the ice. O'Neill trying to pry it free. Hanley all over him. Now kept in by Bodnarchuk. Bods keeps it alive to O'Neill. O'Neill side to left wing circle to Wheel. Now poked away by the Pirates. Monarchs keep it in. Now comes behind the net, Hanley on it there for Portland. Opening minute of play in the third period. We are tied at 3. Monarchs had a 3-0 lead and have let it get away. Puck comes deep into the Monarchs end of the ice. Miller with it. Miller starting out of his own zone. Miller drops it off for Mersch and a drive. Kick save by Domingue. Rebound Shinneman, who scored the equalizer. Now Mersch keeps it in left wing side to Shore. His shot saved by Domingue, and he hangs on.
Good start of the period here for the Monarchs. Keep the pressure on the Portland Pirates. The real message from the Monarchs dressing room was simple. This is a team that has had success here at home all year long. This is a team that needs to put the first and second periods in the rearview mirror and just focus on shift to shift here in the third period of play. Put pressure on the Portland Pirates and play their game. If they do that, they'll have success. If they don't, we know what'll happen.
Schultz, center point. Plays it into the corner. Shore with it, left wing side. To Mersch. Mersch drops it off for Backman. Backman for Mersch, down low. Mersch with it, low shot. Score! Mersch let it go from the bottom of the right wing circle. Beating Domingue, short side. Monarchs lead it 4-3. French fries for everybody.
How about the patience and awareness of Michael Mersch in that instance? Minute 16 into this third period of play. Monarchs have allowed 3 unanswered goals. He's patient, goal line extended, waits for the seam, and is able to put it through the netminder, Domingue. Sean Backman yelling at the Monarchs along the bench, imploring them to keep it coming here in the third period of play. Monarchs have found the lead again. Michael Mersch waits, and puts the shot through at the perfect time. There's a good screen in front from the Portland player, but he had time and space, and he used all of it in a moment in which, you'd probably be pretty tense.
His second of the night, his 5th of the postseason. Gravel throws it off the end wall. Kempe battling for it right wing side. Dowd in the corner, drops it off for O'Brien. Throws it out front! Kempe scores! Set up by Zach O'Brien! Kempe with the goal, making it 5-3.
Wow. What a response from the Manchester Monarchs. Kempe, his first, as the Manchester Monarchs bury the puck twice in the first minute and 36 seconds here of the third period of play. And this goal comes second. These 2 goals come seconds apart. Monarchs got the puck in deep and buried it.
Zach O'Brien setting up Adrian Kempe for his first professional goal at 1:36 of the third period, 20 seconds after Mersch had given them the lead once again.
And Zach O'Brien, again, tremendous patience and execution on that play. He gets the puck behind the goal line, extended the right wing corner, and waits until the Portland player closes on him, and then he gets it on to Kempe. Kempe lifts the puck and is able to find the back of the net, but again, great poise and awareness from Zach O'Brien. Previous it was Mersch who used the time and space to bury the puck. Monarchs facing adversity and answering the bell.
Knocked down in front, puck is loose, taken by Alessio. Kempe from O'Brien and Dowd.
And pass on Gravel.
You're listening to Monarchs hockey tonight on WGAM Manchester, WGHM Nashua, and 107.7 WTPL Hillsboro. 18:06 to go in the third period.
And again, I talked about it before in the game, the Monarchs getting depth scoring in this contest. Horvat, the big goal in the first period of play. Kempe on that third line gets that huge goal with the assist from O'Brien. So it's been all 4 lines going tonight.
Now with it, Auger. Wraps it around the wall, far side. Now Wheel with it, left wing side, tied up by Gaudette. 5-3 Monarchs. Up with the puck comes Gaudette in his own zone, being tracked by O'Neill. Gets it near side to Dahlbeck. Monarchs have come out on fire here in the start of the third period, but plenty of hockey still left in this one. Miller sends it ahead to Wheel. Wheel center ice to Auger. Auger over the line right side. Auger with it. Auger in the corner. He's bumped. Now puck loose along the wall, taken by Gaudette. Gaudette with it for the Pirates. Gaudette, neutral zone. Drops it off left side for Schwartz. Now Bodnarchuk giving chase. Puck is loose in the right wing corner. Gormley battling there. Bodnarchuk comes away with it. Drops it off for Loverty. Loverty ahead to Backman. Backman in the neutral zone. Backman over the line. His drive sticked away and into the netting by Domingue.
You mentioned the fact the Monarchs have come out on fire here in the third period of play. They haven't. The poise that they have had here in the third period of play, where they haven't tried to do too much. There hasn't been overemphasizing the sense of urgency and the desperation side of things. They've been very poised with how they've executed around the net in this third period of play. Yes, they have approached the game perfectly in regards to focus and intensity, but the poise has been really, really special here in the third in a big moment.
Now on it is Bodnarchuk. Tries to clear, kept alive by Dvorak, but the Monarchs get it back. Bodnarchuk with it, ahead to Backman in the neutral zone. Backman throws it into the left wing corner. He's been flying all night, Sean Backman.
Yeah, Mersch too. Mersch has become a star in this series.
Mersch throws it out in front to Backman. Backman a drive, loose puck out in front, still loose. Now Forbert with a shot that's deflected. Backman in the corner, sends it far side for Mersch. Mersch with two tonight. Mersch wraps it around the wall on the near side. Gravel battling to keep it alive, stolen by Shinneman. Shinneman for Dvorak, backhands it into the neutral zone to Henrik Samuelsson. Now Gormley has it in his own zone. Now Gravel tracks it down in his own end, takes it behind his own net. And we have a stoppage in play with 15:59 to go. We played just a shade over 4 minutes here in period number 3. The Monarchs on top, 5-3. 32 shots for the Monarchs, 17 for the Pirates. In this period, 6 for the Monarchs and 0 for Portland. Wache and Dowd with the draw, just outside the Portland line. Dowd wins it to Gravel at the red line. He sends it around the wall. In the trapezoid, collected by Philip Samuelsson, trying to get away from the forecheck into the Monarchs. Selleck has it far side, broken up by O'Brien on the forecheck.
Monarchs flying around the offensive zone on the forecheck right now.
Hanley with it, sends it far side to Selleck, bumped by Horvat. Philip Samuelsson has the puck over the line. Now it's loose, poked away. Kept alive by Hanley at the line. Hanley, right side, shot by Samuelsson, is deflected. Off the end wall, taken by Zach O'Brien.
With the pad.
Now Hanley on it. Drops it off for Philip Samuelsson. Samuelsson across to Hanley. Hanley back to Samuelsson in his own zone. Center ice. Hit the body of Dauphine. And,
he got him bad. Too many men on the ice again on Portland, and not called.
Shot by Horvat and a save by Domingue. Kept alive by Colin Miller for Crescenzi. Grattan battling in the corner, bumped by Shinneman. Now Philip Samuelsson up with it. He chips it into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Berube forced to play the puck to Schultz. Schultz pokes it ahead to Josh Grattan. Grattan plays at neutral zone. Pass deflected. Dahlbeck collects in his own zone.
Now let's just pause for a second here, Ken, and think about what a great game this has been. I mean, this has been an incredible Game 5. A little bit too incredible for me, but it's been a incredible Game 5. And if it was 5-3 in the other direction, I would not like the game as much as I do.
I don't think most of us would. Faceoff will come after the icing in the Portland zone. Wheel will take the draw against Shinneman. Still lots of time left in this one, 14:32. We know that goals can be scored quickly and in bunches. So Monarchs cannot take the foot off the pedal here, and they won't. Bodnarchuk with it at the red line. Plays it off the glass. Auger in the trapezoid. Bumped by Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck gets the worst of that one as he goes down. Now O'Neill giving chase in the trapezoid, tied up along the end wall. Now with it, Greg Miller of Portland in the neutral zone. Played behind the net. Now Bodnarchuk plays it into the neutral zone, knocked down by Dylan Reese. We've played a shade over 6 minutes here in period number 3. Monarchs on top, 5-3 off the stick of Dvorak. Now taken by Henrik Samuelsson to Dvorak. behind the net. Now Dylan Reese with a drive that goes wide. Kept in at the line. No, it squirts free, neutral zone. Gormley drops it off. Stolen by the Monarchs. On it, Shore. Pokes it ahead off the left wing wall. Shore gets it back. Bottom of the circle. Tied up by Gormley. Far side, Henrik Samuelsson on it. Now Mersch able to keep it in for the Monarchs. Shore plays it along the wall. Taken by Gormley to Dylan Reese. Reese sends it all the way down the length of the ice.
Oh, my.
Why wasn't that icing?
That was tipped, but that wasn't.
Now, puck behind the net. Portland on it in the Manchester zone. Samuelsson with it in the corner. Back out to the line to Hanley. Hanley throws it into the right wing corner. Kempe battling there. Kempe with his first pro goal tonight. O'Brien lost the stick.
O'Brien.
Now Dowd plays it in off the right wing wall. Hanley goes down along the end wall. Puck is loose on it. Philip Samuelsson. Samuelsson with it. Center ice. Schwartz plays it deep in the Monarchs' end of the ice. Gravel battling with Schwartz along the end wall. Gratton comes away with the puck. Wraps it around the wall far side. Kept alive by McNeil. Now puck behind the net. Gaudette throws it out in front. Smothered by Berube in the blue paint.
Yeah, it was tipped. He found it quick and was able to hold for the faceoff to his left. 12:24 to go. Third period. Monarchs up 5-3 in this deciding Game 5. Back with more after this on the Monarchs Radio Network.
I'm so sorry. Really. He's not usually like this, but with Verizon XL TV, he can experience hockey on the go. So when updates and highlights come in, sometimes he can't help but just
With double the 4G LTE benefit in cities nationwide, Verizon XL TV turns any time into hockey time.
Seconds.
Okay, Tim. Face off right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. 12:24 to go in the third. 5-3 Monarchs on the strength of third period goals by Mersch and Kempe. Puck in the neutral zone, gathered in by Dahlbeck. Takes it back in his own zone, slides it to McNeil. Now puck taken by Loverty in his own zone. Has it poked away, kept alive Samuelsson. Wraps it around the wall and it's deflected out of play. With 12:04 remaining here in period number 3. Monarchs on top, 5-3, out shooting the Pirates 34-20. In this period, Monarchs with 8 shots and Portland with 3.
I'm somewhat hesitant to start talking about this as a positive experience for the Monarchs, but if the result holds, this is big for the Monarchs to face adversity like this because it's been a year in which they've been so dominant, and a lot of times, championship teams and championship caliber teams struggle in the first round and are tested big time, and it pays big dividends. This one's deflected out of play into the Pirates fan section in 125. But throughout sports, it's very good to get tested in a series. But you also want to survive that test and pass the test, and we'll see if the Monarchs can do that in the final 11:50. But think about the Celtics back in 2008 when they went to 7 games against the Atlanta Hawks before they won their championship. All the 7-game contests for the Bruins. When they won in 2011, and of course the
Not
Kings,
to mention the Kings, right?
Kings have been the ultimate at passing and surviving and creating
havoc and plenty of nervousness.
So if you're a Kings fan, you're listening or watching on AHL Live, you're like, that's nothing.
Yeah. Compared to what the Kings have been through over the last 3 years, 2 out of the last 3 Stanley Cups, and taking it to the limit on many occasions.
But you think about the learning experience, the development side of it for the young players on this team who are in their first playoff experiences. I mean, just in these 5 games, you've experienced just about everything that you can during a playoff series. And think about that in terms of the positives on the development side, and I'm talking about development just in terms of this year and becoming a better playoff hockey player for a potential next series or a series beyond that. And it's been huge for these guys to face this type of a test, but obviously they still got to pass it with 11:35 to go.
Planned away in the Portland zone. Reese on it along the end wall. Drops it off in the corner. Monarchs battling to keep it alive. Mersch has it. Along the end wall, tied up by Wache. Mersch throws it out in front. Clear to the wall. Kept alive by Schultz. Played behind the net. Mersch bumped off the play. It's loose in the trapezoid. Behind Doming. Now Dylan Reese has it stolen away by Shore. Shore with it. Center point, Miller, a drive, and that's knocked down in front by Reese.
That one off, and strong on the puck for Nick Shore. A lot of pressure on him there, but he was able to stay on the puck and get over for a shot.
Now with it, Miller in his own zone for the Monarchs, kept alive by Philip Samuelson in the corner to Selleck. Puck is loose, and it's taken by Dowd. Dowd in the neutral zone, chips it deep in the Portland end of the ice, and icing called against the Monarchs with 10:39 to go in period number 3. 5-3, the Monarchs on top in this one. If you missed it, Portland tied it at 3 after trailing 3-0, tied it at 3 with a half-second left in the second period on a shot from the side of the left wing circle by Shinneman that just beat the horn. Originally, the goal was waved off by one of the referees, but upon further review, they saw that it did cross the goal line before time had expired, and that was the tying goal for Portland. But Monarchs came out strong here in the third period and scored 2 quick ones early. We're down to 10.5 minutes to go in the third period. Shinneman's centering pass knocked down by Kempe. Now Hanley throws it off the end wall. Schultz on it. Throws it ahead for Horvat, who has a goal tonight. Cleared the length of the ice, and this will be icing again against the Monarchs with 10:13 to go in the third. Face-off will come in the Manchester end of the ice. Good crowd on hand tonight, but Chris, I don't think as good as the crowd for the second game last Saturday.
It's close.
Yeah, I mean it is close, but I don't think quite as good as it was. But the intensity has been there. The passion has been there. Now with it, Dahlbeck for a drive that went wide of Berube, taken by Dowd.
Everything about this has felt like a deciding game. The Monarchs should ice this one again. No, ice is waved off because of the efforts of Horvat. Wow.
Now
Horvat hard into the boards. He wanted a call there, but what great effort from Horvat. That's one of the little things right there. It allows the Monarchs to change.
Planned away in the neutral zone, sent deep into the Monarchs end of the ice. Forward battling for it along the end wall. Perlini in the corner. Sends it along the left wing boards. Redirected in front. Puck loose out in front and smothered by a diving Berube. With 9:38 to go in the third period. Monarchs 5, Pirates 3. Hang on to your hats. More Monarchs hockey to come right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.
Seconds.
9:38 to go. Third period. Face-off left circle to the right of J.F. Berube, who for the most part has played well tonight. Taking care of the ice surface and the blue paint off to our left.
That's
in the
important.
crease.
I mean, you don't want to get a rough bounce right in front of that crease.
Shinneman will take the face-off for the Portland Pirates against Nick Shore of the Monarchs. Portland wins the draw. Gormley throws it in front, redirected wide. Now O'Neill with it in the corner. Shore has it far side. Shore in the neutral zone. Shore to Loverty, moving in right circle. Loverty takes it into the corner. Gormley on it now for Portland. Tries to shovel it ahead. Broken up by Loverty.
Here comes Auger. Lining up Reese, but didn't have the opportunity to hit him.
Now over the line, Henrik Samuelsson. He goes down along the left wing wall. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Giving chase, Auger. Auger moving in front. His shot saved by Domingue, who lost his stick.
Yeah, Auger's a beast.
Yeah. Hard rush by Auger, but Domingue able to make the stop at the near post. Now Shore with it. Starting out of his own end, 8:45 to go, third period. Monarchs 5 and the Portland Pirates 3. Domingue in the trapezoid. Drops it off near side for Hanley. Hanley to Dauphine. Dauphine starting out of his own zone for the Pirates. Center ice to Greg Miller. Miller's pass knocked down at the line by Gravel. Giving chase Hanley, plays it back to Philip Samuelsson. Hanley ahead to Greg Miller. Miller over the line, broken up along the left wing wall, cleared to the neutral zone. Crescenzi on it. Crescenzi broken up. Crescenzi gets it back in the corner, bumped by Dahlbeck, thrown out in front by O'Brien, kept in by Schultz, but the net becomes dislodged behind Domingue. With 8:02 remaining in the third, and the Monarchs on top 5-3.
Faceoff will come outside the Portland zone, just outside the Portland zone, with 8:02 to go. Regulation time. Monarchs need to continue what got them the success here in this third period of play. Need to cycle the puck, keep us in the offensive zone. They're capable of doing it, but they need to take some modest chances to make sure they keep that puck possession, pinching the D along the board, cycling the forward up top, things they've done all year long to close this out.
Dahlbeck sends it ahead, intended for Shinneman. Shinneman collects, side of the left wing circle. His drive sticked away by Berube and out of play.
I like JF's response here in this third period of play as well. He's not seen the puck a lot, but he has looked very confident, and he has made quick decisions with the puck each time. Just there in an instance like that, he knew exactly what he was going to do with it. No second guessing, and just put the puck off to the side. And a lot of times when you look for signs in netminders, where there are confidence and things like that, it's how they play the puck and what they do, and whether they make quick decisions and stick with them. And in that instance, he did just that.
Face-off left circle to the right of J.F. Berube. Wache and Wheel on the face-off. Off the draw. Puck loose in the circle. Now Miller with it behind the net. Colin Miller starting out of his own zone. Pass knocked down. Neutral zone by Dahlbeck. Taken by Patrick McNeil in his own end. McNeil with it off the stick of Shinneman. Comes off the end wall in the Monarchs end of the ice. Puck stolen away by a Wheel. Wheel in his own zone. Wheel flips it high up into the air. O'Neill with it in the corner. Bumped by Dahlbeck. Now O'Neill goes down. Auger battles in the corner with Selleck. Puck is loose far side. Taken by Patrick McNeil. Sends it neutral zone. Swatted down by Gravel. On it is McNeil. McNeil, neutral zone to Dahlbeck in the half moon. Throws it off the end wall, giving chase Backman. Backman's pass poked away by Wheel. Wheel still in the zone. There's a couple of loose sticks out there right now in the Manchester end of the ice off to our left. Backman trips over one of them. Now with it, Gormley. Gormley's drive redirected in front. Shot went wide. Lots of lumber on the ice out there in the Monarchs zone. Now puck loose along the left wing wall, dug out by Backman. Backman has been immense tonight for the Monarchs. Over the line, Gaudette. Gaudette throws it in front. Backhander save, Berube!
Awesome.
Oh, my goodness. Off the backhander from Schwartz, Berube made the stop. The net became dislodged with 6:23 to go in the third period.
And not sure how much Schwartz got on that shot, but JF made sure that he had the space covered and in position to make the save. It looked like Schwartz may have whipped on that shot a little bit and ended up in the midsection of JF Berube. You'll get the replay here. I was kind of shielded on it. But Schwartz comes in, and again, difficult to see on the replay. As Schwartz comes in, and the netminder goes backhand, and looks like JF may have actually come out and got that with the glove actually before he was able to get the shot away initially, but Portland able to create a seam, get the puck in behind the Monarchs D of Schwartz, and JF bailed him out.
Shot from Philip Samuelson went off the end wall, giving Chase Shinneman along the end board. Shinneman has it, right wing side, along the right wing wall. Now the puck cleared into the neutral zone. On it, Philip Samuelson, far side in his own end, sends it center ice to brother Henrik. Now puck is loose, taken by Gravel. Played into the neutral zone, knocked down by Dahlbeck in his own end. 5-3 Monarchs, 5:50 to go in the third period. Dahlbeck with it in front of his, McNeil in front of his own bench. Now Dvorak over the line left side, takes it wide. Dvorak throws it out in front, knocked away by the Monarchs. Colin Miller collects behind his own net. Drops it off for Bodnerchuk. Bod's with it. Now puck taken in the neutral zone by Selleck. Threw it into the Monarchs end of the ice. Monarchs collect. Colin Miller with it. His pass deflected. Now swatted by Auger in the direction of the goaltender Domingue. Leaves it behind the net for Dahlbeck. Far side on it, McNeil. His pass stolen away by Wheel. Kept in the zone by Wheel. Drops it off for O'Neill left side. O'Neill side of the left wing circle. Back out to the line to Schultz. Schultz with it. Plays it into the trapezoid. Taken by Dahlbeck off his stick. Backman battling for it. O'Neill with it. Throws it out to Wheel. Shot saved, Domingue. Another shot, another pass by Loverty off the stick of Backman in front. Now far side, McNeil with it. 4:45 to go in the third. Selleck slowed down as he tried to cross the line. He did cross the line. The puck is loose. Up with it is Schultz in the corner. Schultz plays it behind his own net to Vincent Loverty. Loverty with it in his own end for the Monarchs. Loverty plays it ahead to shore, dumps it into the Portland end of the ice. On it is Dylan Reese for the Pirates. Reese plays it center ice, knocked down by Loverty. He's spun around by Schwartz. On it, Gormley. Gormley in his own end to Dylan Reese. Broken up in the neutral zone by Shore. His shot gloved by Domingue, who leaves it for Dylan Reese. Now to Perlini. Center ice, Gaudette. Gaudette plays it into the left wing corner. Now puck loose in the trapezoid off to our left. Dug out by Gravel. Gravel sends it deep in the Portland zone. Won't go far enough for icing. Hanley on it. 3:50 to go. Third period. Now the puck deflects into the crowd on the near side. 3:47 to go in the third. Monarchs 5 and the Pirates 3.
All right, we've just got a couple shifts to go in this one. Monarchs need to continue what we have seen here in this third period of play. Good puck management, getting the puck in deep, and setting up the forecheck. But Monarchs need to continue to skate, be ferocious in hunting the puck, and the results will follow.
Faceoff will come center circle. Monarchs out shooting the Pirates 38-24 in this period. 12 for the Monarchs and 7 for the Pirates. Shinneman and Wheel will take the faceoff at center ice, center circle.
JF has got an equipment issue here. Mike Holden is taking care of that.
Mike Holden, who has been here since day one with the Manchester Monarchs. And before that, when the Monarchs, I should say the Kings affiliation was in Lowell with the Lock Monsters, Holdy was in Lowell as well. Now Berube will go back to his cage, off to our left. Wheel will take the draw with Shinneman. 3:47 to go, third period. Monarchs by 2, 5-3. Monarchs led at 3-0. Portland tied it at 3. right at the end of the second period. Monarchs came out and scored 2 quickies in the third. Now knocked down, kept alive by Hanley. Throws it in front, swatted away by the Monarchs. Dvorak battling with the puck. Drops it off for Henrik Samuelsson. His shot saved near post by Berube, and he hangs on.
Number 22 of the night for JF as that one came in along the goal line. He's able to hold for the faceoff to his right. 3:26 to go in the third period of play as the clock watching is intent at this point in time from my perspective.
I think everybody's. You're not
alone.
alone.
The guys to my right, you can't really watch the clock. You just gotta
play the game.
You gotta play the game. You can't watch the clock, but you just have to continue to get good shifts.
Now, puck loose along the end wall, dug out by Forbert. Forbert with it, plays it ahead. Mersch sends it all the way down deep in the Portland end of the ice. And icing called against the Monarchs with 3:11 remaining. And, of course, we'll keep our eye on Louis Domingue.
Now you don't want to ice the puck, obviously. But that's a better option than turning the puck over.
And Domingue goes to the bench.
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah,
it's difficult to hear. I'd rather see the icing than see a turnover. So if that's the option, go for it.
So 6 attackers on for Portland. The net is empty with 3:11 to go in the Portland end of the ice. 6 attackers on for the Pirates. Off the draw with it is Gormley inside the line. Pass deflected along the left wing wall. Henrik Samuelsson battling forward in the left wing corner in the Monarchs end of the ice. 5-3 Monarchs. Back it goes to McNeil. His shot well wide. Now giving chase is Mersch, but McNeil will get to it first in the neutral zone. McNeil plays it ahead deep into the Monarchs end of the ice. Giving chase Forbert, knocks it away from Gaudette, kept alive by Henrik Samuelsson. O'Neill giving chase, far side with Shinneman in the corner. Puck is loose. Portland with it behind the net, thrown out in front, knocked away to the left wing boards. Back out to McNeil, shot through a screen, save Berube, back into another save Berube. 2 in a row.
JF sprawled out, made the save with the glove. That was a huge stop from point blank range. Save of the night.
Now Shinneman. Bumped by Loverty, tied up in the trapezoid in the Monarch zone. 2:05 to go, third period. Now with it McNeil. High slot shot went wide. Shinneman tripped up. Penalty coming up on the Monarchs. With 1:57 remaining in the third period, penalty coming up here on the Monarchs.
I certainly feel better, the 2-goal lead than a 1-goal lead, but it's still very, very nerve-wracking here down the stretch for the Manchester Monarchs. This will create a situation in which they will have 2 extra attackers, a 6-on-4 situation, and this Monarchs, though, will have free shots at the net where they don't have to worry about icing the puck, and with the goaltender out, they can throw it down at will at the Portland cage to try to put this one in the win column.
This one not over yet. 1:57 remaining. 6 attackers on for Portland. 4 defenders in front of JF Berube. 5-3 Monarchs. Loverty in the box for tripping at 18:03 of the period. Portland on the power play. Off the draw. Puck loose. With it is Shinneman, left wing side. His pass goes into the neutral zone.
Won't have enough to go into the net, but it's headed towards it.
Tracked down by McNeil. Takes it behind his own net. McNeil starting out of his own zone. Plays it neutral zone to Henrik. Henrik Samuelsson with it. Left wing side. Bumped along the wall. Puck is loose in the corner. Monarchs able to clear it into the neutral zone. Tracking it down on his own end is McNeil. Minute 20 to go in the third period. Monarchs shorthanded. Now knocked away by O'Brien. McNeil battling with Mersch in front of the Portland bench. On the far side, Mersch throws it toward the net, but it's knocked down in the slot by Shinneman. Shinneman in the neutral zone, shifting over the line. Plays it right side. Henrik Samuelsson a drive, saved by Berube. Mersch throws it the length of the ice and just wide of the net. Oh my goodness. 53 seconds remaining.
Time is on the Monarch side. 50 seconds to go.
Now McNeil with it in the neutral zone. Sends it behind the net. Berube with it. Forbert winds it around the wall, kept in by Reese at the right point. Puck is loose along the wall, kept in by Reese again. To McNeil. McNeil throws it in front, knocked down by Bodnarchuk. Kept alive by the Pirates, shot by McNeil through a screen, cleared by Bodnarchuk. Kept in at the line by Reese. Long drive, save Berube, pops high up into the air. Wow. 20 seconds remaining. Shot again, McNeil. Saved by Berube. Puck still loose. Kept in by Reese. No! It skipped over a stick into the neutral zone. Drops it off for McNeil. Center ice. Plays it ahead. 3 seconds remaining. And the Monarchs will go to the Eastern Conference semifinals to take on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Monarchs win it 5-3, and they come off the ice to congratulate victorious goaltender J.F. Berube. Berube posting the victory, turning aside 24 shots. And the Portland Pirates gave the Manchester Monarchs all they could possibly handle, so hats off to them, a team that qualified for the postseason on the last day of the regular season, and they gave it all they had. So hats off to the Pirates, but congratulations to the Monarchs. They win it here 5-3, win the series 3-2, and now we'll have the handshake between the two clubs.
Yeah, congratulations to the Portland Pirates. They played a heck of a series. They did an incredible job. They pushed the Monarchs to the limit and some in this series, and the way they battled back down 2-0 in this series, you can't say enough about the way that the Portland Pirates played up in Portland, winning those games. And then here in this game, trailing 3-0, they stuck with it, and they should not hang their heads as a result of this series. Great job by the Portland Pirates.
No, absolutely so. And the handshake at the center ice. And this was sometimes a very testy series between these two clubs. Of course, the Portland Pirates, without a couple of their major instigators for the final 3 games of this series, and Darian Derzinski and Alexander Bolduc. As Mike Stothers and Chris Height shake hands with the Portland Pirates, players and the coaching staff. Max is out on the ice, and the Monarchs will gather and I'm sure salute their fans here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. The Monarchs lift their sticks to the fans. The Monarchs will next take on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. We don't know when that series is going to start. Maybe by the time we leave the air tonight, we will know. We'll do the best we can to find out. But that will be the opponent. So the Eastern Conference semifinals will have the Monarchs taking on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, and the Hershey Bears taking on the Hartford Wolfpack. Those are the 4 remaining teams in the Eastern Conference, as the PA announcer John DeVoe will announce tonight's 3 stars. 3rd star, Brendan Shinneman of the Portland Pirates, who raised his stick toward Section 125, and the Portland Pirates fans here in the stands, and there are quite a few of them. John Backman gets the number 2 star. What a night he had from start to finish. John Backman. And the number 1 star of tonight's game, with 2 goals, Michael Mersch.
Thank you very much, Ken. Down here with Sean Backman. And first off, talk about the performance of the team in this game. You faced a tremendous amount of adversity, coming into this game. Then 3-3 going into the 3rd, and you did your best work in the most adverse times.
Yeah, I think a little bit we got into penalty trouble in the 2nd and kind of gave them a sniff with that goal at the end there. But we went in the locker room saying, you know what, let's wipe that 40 minutes out. We've been winning at home all season, and 20 minutes for the series was, a piece of cake for us.
Yeah, no question. And Michael Mersch has emerged as a star really in this game. You played alongside him, and I thought both of you really set the tempo. It was, for a large part what you guys did, but really, you look up and down the lineup, the depth contributions, Kempe, the goal to extend it after the nice pass from O'Brien, Horvat's goal after the great play by Kress behind the net, getting the puck away from Domingue. And it was an all-in performance, but obviously you guys were key in that.
Yeah, my job is to get the puck to the net for that big body. We call him Big Mike. Big Mike gets it done in front of the net, and you know what? Tonight, he got the job done, just whacking that one in the first, and then using that big body to protect the puck and scoring that great goal in the third there.
JF, I thought, really good in the third as well. You wanted to see how he was going to respond, or we wanted to see how he was going to respond after the goal late in the second period of play, but he seemed extremely confident in the third period of play and made a number of big saves for you.
Yeah, he knew that last goal wasn't, the best. So, we told him, you know what, JF, we got you. And he made some really big saves in the third there for us. So, for him to respond like that, that's huge for us.
Final thing, now that you're through this experience and everybody has, I think, learned everything there is to learn about the playoffs in these 5 games, looking ahead to the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins, and I think that this series has the potential, although it certainly did not go the way the Monarchs wanted in terms of the length of the series, but I think it has the potential to really be a building point for this team moving forward.
Yeah, we weren't going to win every game going through the playoffs, and I think going through that, in the first round, there's some learning experiences. We weren't our best throughout the whole series. We were at times, but we want to complete games, and we're going to need to complete games going into the second round against a really good Penguins team. So,
Max, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Sean Backman joining us here after the Monarchs win Game 5 against the Portland Pirates 5-3. What a incredible series.
It really
We're going to
was.
need a pacemaker before we move on to the series against the Penguins.
I guess so, and we just learned that, and it's up on the big board here, that the first 2 games will be here Wednesday and Thursday, May 6th and 7th at the Verizon Wireless Arena. So get your tickets now, because that's going to be a barn burner as well, the Monarchs and the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins, starting Wednesday and Thursday nights here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. And we certainly hope to see you throughout the postseason. Hopefully it has only just begun with this 3-2 victory in the Eastern Conference quarterfinal series against a very formidable foe in the Portland Pirates, as they gave the Monarchs certainly all they could possibly handle, coming back from a 3-0 deficit in this one, tying the game with a half-second remaining in the second period. And the Monarchs came out strong in the third, scored a couple of quick early goals, and that would be all she wrote. A 5-3 Manchester Monarchs victory. And we'll have much more when we continue in 2 minutes right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Pulse Monarchs Radio Network.